Welcome back to the bank here in Ellisville. The Bobcats and Eagles, Meridian Community College and Jones College, set for Mississippi JUCO baseball action here on opening day in Ellisville on the campus of Jones College. The Eagles and Bobcats getting ready for a 7-inning affair here on this cool evening in Jones County. The Eagles 1-0 with 11-10 extra inning win, 12 innings against the Bobcats earlier today. Bobcats 0-1, looking to get the split here on their home field. The starting lineups for Meridian looks very similar to the first game. Batting first and playing center field is number 19, Banks Tolley. Batting second and playing left field, number 11, Adam Moncure. Batting third and playing third, number 33, Braden Luke. Batting fourth and playing left field, number 3, John Mitchell. Batting fifth and playing first, number 12, Brett Mason. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 8, Bo Gatlin. Batting seventh and playing second base, number 1, Bridley Thomas. The designated hitter batting in the 8 hole, number 18, Easton Rayner. Batting ninth and catching, number 31, Andon Johnson. On the mound to start game 2 of this doubleheader is Alec Sparks. Sparks is the right-handed freshman, 6'4", out of Oak Forest Academy in Amite City, Louisiana. For the Bobcats in this second game, batting first and playing second base, the redshirt freshman out of Madison Central, number 1, Murray Hutchinson. Batting second and playing left field is the freshman out of Oak Grove High School, number 17, DJ Booth. Batting third and playing a right field is the freshman out of Northside High School in Slidell, Louisiana, number 10, Preston Ratliff. Batting fourth and playing shortstop is the redshirt freshman out of South Jones High School, number 13, Tyler Ducksworth. Batting fifth and playing center field is the redshirt sophomore out of Honville High School in Luling, Louisiana, number 3, Hunter LeBlanc. Batting sixth and playing first base, the redshirt freshman out of West Jones High School, number 8, Colson Harris. Batting seventh in the DH position is the freshman out of Purvis High School, number 18, Jesse Johnson. Batting eighth and catching is the freshman out of DeSoto Central High School in South Haven, Mississippi, number 24, Chase Honeycutt. Batting ninth and playing third is the redshirt freshman out of South Jones High School, number 26, Andrew Howard. On the mound for the Bobcats to start this second game is the redshirt freshman, big left-hander out of Northwest Rankin High School, number 9, Dalton Rogers. Bobcats here in Ellisville tonight battled back from a 6-0 deficit after the first half inning of play to tie the game up at 10 in the bottom of the ninth, but couldn't get anything across in the extra innings. Meridian was able to push one across in the top of the 12th to win the opening game of the season, 11-10. So head coach Chris Kirkland of the Bobcats, in his 6th season as head skipper of the Bobcats, looking to get the opening day split here at the bank. Community Bank Park here in Ellisville, one of the best, if not the best venues in all the state and in the Southeast to play baseball. Mark Easley alongside Sean Wansley here in the broadcast booth, Kevin Maloney in the booth adjacent to us. Those are the guys that make things happen behind the scenes at jcjc.tv. We appreciate you tuning in for the broadcast today. Any of our friends from up in the Lauderdale County area, welcome to the broadcast. As you may be logged on to watch the Meridian Eagles here at JCTV, welcome. Leading off for the Eagles is Banks Tolley, and he'll take a ball inside.
6:37 official first pitch.
Only an hour and 37 minutes beyond the scheduled time. But no, those 9-inning games can get long, and that one did, and it went extra innings as well. Swinging strike one on a good fastball from Rogers. Count even at 1-1 now. A cool 48 degrees at 6:37 here in Ellisville. Got up to about 60 or so this afternoon. It was a nice afternoon for baseball for sure. Going to get a little brisk here at night with that sun down. Coley takes the second strike looking. 1-2 now on Banks. He was 3 out of 7 in the first game, scored a couple runs, had an RBI as well. Looking at the 1-2 pitch. Swing, and then misses. So a big-time strikeout from Rogers. Dalton bringing the heat there. Retires totally with a strikeout.
Coaches really like Dalton Rogers. He transferred in from southeastern Louisiana, and he's committed to Southern Miss, so he is a very, very good prospect on this Jones team.
The Bobcat pitching staff had 12 strikeouts in the opening game as Rogers misses with his first pitch to Moncure. For the most part, the Bobcats hit the ball pretty well until it got late in the game. 9th, 10th, 11th inning on, they just really couldn't get things put together to scratch across a run to try to win it. As Meridian was able to get one across in the top of the 12th. Opening game of the season for both teams. Wasn't the best played game. Some errors, some hit batters, some walks. And, you know, in the times we're living with COVID and the practice schedule's thrown off, it sometimes happens that you may not be as sharp as you would like to be here in the early part of the season. But an entertaining game for sure as Moncure fouls one back to get his first strike. 2-1 now on Moncure. Adam was 0 for 6. Did score a run, though, in the first game. Looking for his first hit of the year. Late on that delivery. Got just enough of it to foul it back. Count even now at 2-2. This is a 7-inning affair. As most doubleheaders are, first game is 9 innings. And the back end of that doubleheader, 7-inning game. Low with that throw. So now the count even as Rogers misses with the 2-2. Struck out totally to start the game. Now the 3-2 from Rogers, and he'll walk Moncure. Moncure had reached on a couple of errors in the first game, in the first 2 innings, and then didn't reach base in the last 4 at-bats. But starts this game off with his at-bat as a walk. Braden Luke had a big game. 3 for 5, 3 RBIs, scored a run in that first ball game today. One of those hits being a 2-run homer in the first inning after Moncure had reached on an error. Rogers behind 1-0 in the count. Missing again. Rogers having trouble finding the plate here in the early going. Got the strikeout of Tolley, but then walked Moncure and falls behind Luke, 2-0. The left-hander rocks and fires and missing just outside, 3-0 to Braden Luke. Now the 3-0. Luke have the green light. Not the pitch he wanted. If he did have the green light, as it caught the outside corner for strike one. 3-1 now to Luke. Braden, a freshman from West Lauderdale High School, swings it from the left side of the plate. And he'll take ball 4. So back-to-back walks have put a couple of Eagles on the base paths here in the top of the first. After retiring the opening batter, Dalton Rogers with back-to-back walks. That'll bring up the Jones County native, South Jones grad John Mitchell, left fielder for the Eagles, batting in the cleanup spot with one out and runners at first and second. Well, Rogers is missing everything into that right-handed batter's box. Everything inside on the right-handers, missed away a bunch on with Luke.
Low and inside on these righties.
And make an adjustment here. Get that ball over the plate. Again, low and inside. Two Eagles on base by way of the walk with one out here in the top of the first. Now the 2-0 pitch to Mitchell. That's in there for a strike. Meridian hit the ball well in the first game. I don't really think we pitched it that poorly. Made some errors behind our pitcher. And they hit the ball well in the first 3 innings, especially. First couple of innings. That made us pay with those errors. They scored in bunches. 6 in the first, 1 in the second. And then 3 in the 7th and 1 in the 12th. Bobcats spread it out pretty evenly over the game, but just couldn't get anything going in the last 3 innings.
Time called.
Mitchell takes time right before the pitch, so no pitch there. 2-1, your count will stay. Bobcats scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth, 2 in the 7th, and 1 in the 9th for their 10 runs.
Just never could take the lead against them.
Had opportunities. Give Meridian credit. They held on and then made some plays when they needed to, and then scored in that 12th inning for the win.
I think Kevin Maloney said only 3 earned runs given up by our pitching staff in that game.
Yeah.
And that tells the tale, obviously.
3-1 the count as that pitch misses, so Rogers in danger of walking the bases full here in the top of the first with 1 out. Ground ball to first, knocked down, able to take it unassisted is Harris. We'll have trouble turning 2 on that one anyway. As Colson knocked it down and was able to get his Co-Jones County buddy out. 3 unassisted for the second out. Runners do advance, though. Moncure over to third and Luke to second. Brett Mason from the left side steps into the batter's box. He was 1 for 5 in the first game. Scored a couple of runs. Got a couple of RBIs out there waiting on him if he can get one to the outfield. Breaking ball well off the mark for ball 1. Bobcats trying to get out of the first inning unscathed. The first inning was the killer for them in the first game. That ball gets across for a call strike, 1-1. It's just hard to come back from a 6-0 game, a lead there after a half inning of play, but give the Bobcats credit. They scratched and clawed and battled their way back and had a chance, but just couldn't quite get the job done. That pitch on the outside corner, so 1-2 now to Mason. Rogers a pitch away from getting out of the inning without any damage being done. But work still to be done here. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. The 1-2 blocked up nicely by Honeycutt. Breaking ball moves a lot. The count even now at 2-2. You have to be careful of those breaking balls and runners in that third and second scoring position like that. Honeycutt did a nice job of smothering it up. The 2-2 just off the plate. So the count is full now to Mason. Fell behind 1-2s, worked it full to 3-2 with 2 outs. First base is open, but Rogers wants to get him right here. The 3-2. Fouled straight back. We'll do it again. Bo Gatlin on deck. He had a nice game in the first game as well, with a couple of hits and 5 plate appearances with a couple of runs scored. Full count, misses outside, so 3 walks have loaded the bases for Bo Gatlin. 2 outs. The Eagles had 14 hits in that first game. And they're looking for a big one here with 2 outs here in the top of the first. They only committed 1 error in the first game, too, so that was their defense was pretty solid. Bobcats 5 errors in the first game. Pitch right down Main Street for call, strike 1. Gatlin scored a couple of runs. He scored the winning run in the 12th. Strike 2 on Gatlin. He had led off the top of the 12th with a hard line drive to left field that somehow was misplayed and got to the wall. He ended up on third, and they were able to drive him in with 1 out. The 0-2 to Gatlin. Fouled out of play beyond the right field fence. So the count stays at 0-2. Rogers had to throw a bunch of pitches here in the first inning. He faces the 6th batter in the order with an 0-2 count and 2 outs. Breaking ball stays high, 1-2. Rogers asks for a new baseball. The umpire obliges. Bases full, 2 outs, 1-2. 2-2, well inside. Wasn't as low as some of the ones he's missed with, but about the same location as far as how in it is on the right-handed batters. Count even at 2-2, 2 outs. Bases juiced. Swing and a miss on that good, hard inside fastball, and the Eagles are retired. With no damage done, they leave the bases loaded, though. So no runs on no hits, no errors. 3 men left on base. A couple of strikeouts in that first inning for Rogers. We'll be back in the bottom of the first with those Bobcats coming to bat. Due up. Hutchinson, Booth, and Ratliff back right after this. You're watching Bobcat Baseball.
More than 75 years, Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Delicious meats, pit smoked, low and slow, on site, every day, every location. Because some things never change, and some things do. Dickey's introduces an expanded menu which includes butcher tacos, your favorite slow smoked barbecue meats, and a warm flour tortilla. Barbecue sliders, snackably sized barbecue awesomeness on our famous buttery rolls. Smoke stacks, smoking good meats, and savory sides in a single serving bowl. Our specialty Westerners, offered with new combinations of meats and toppings. Don't worry, don't fret, we didn't forget your favorites. Our classic sandwiches and plates featuring meats and 2 sides, which the Dickey's family has been serving for 3 generations.
Since 1941, our family at Dickey's has been serving your family.
Old school flavor, new school twist. Dickey's, we speak barbecue.
Son, let's go. Back in the bank. We'll move to the bottom of the first. Bobcats walk the bases full, but no damage done by the Eagles as Dalton Rogers gets a couple of strikeouts. Bo Gatlin, the last victim to end the inning. And the Bobcat pitching staff, as I said, had 12 strikeouts in the first game. And a good start in the second as far as strikeouts. But Rogers, a lot of pitches in that first inning. Struck out the opening batter of the game in Tolley, then walked a couple. Had a ground out to first, then walked Mason to load the bases, then struck out Gatlin to end it. Up for the Bobcats, Murray Hutchinson. Hutchinson had a big first game, 3 for 6 from the plate, scored 3 times, had an RBI. But he was able to be a thorn in their side for a while. Got hit by a pitch as well, reached on an error, so he reached base 5 of 7 times from the left side. The redshirt freshman out of Madison Central takes a call strike. Alex Sparks on the mound for Meridian, and the 6'4" freshman out of Amite City, Louisiana, Oak Forest Academy graduate. Breaking ball low for ball 1. And the Bobcats will be in action again Saturday up in Decatur against an always tough opponent in East Central Community College. And those games will be webcast on the East Central Network. Most home schools will do the broadcasting. Ball 2 up high for Hutchinson, 2-1 the count. The 2-1 stays outside, so Hutchinson with the count in his favor at 3-1, looking to reach base as DJ Booth waits on deck. Ball lifted beyond third base in foul territory. Rolling back is Luke to make the catch for the first out. Booth, the freshman out of Oak Grove High School, 2 for 5 in the first game. Scored 3 times. Looking to get the Bobcats started here after Hutchinson fouls out and to start the bottom of the first. Looks at a call strike. Booth bats from the left side, ripped one in the right field corner. Would have been an easy stand-up double, but somehow lost his footing between first and second and got thrown out in a close play to starting inning that the Bobcats scored in. That was a really, really unfortunate and a big play for Meridian there, but unfortunate for the Bobcats. Booth looks at a pitch low for ball 1. The 1-1 grounded towards second, fielded on the second hop. Nice toss across to Mason, and Booth is retired 4-3 for the second out. Preston Ratliff, the right fielder, was 2 for 3 in the first game, scored a couple of runs, had a couple of RBIs, a big 2-out hit by Ratliff. In the 7th inning, got the Bobcats within 1 run, and they eventually tied it in the 9th. But he was on base, seemed like the whole game except the last inning in the 12th when he flew out to the right fielder. Swinging strike from Ratliff. He reached base 6 times. 3 by walks, 1 by hit batter. Another swing and a miss. So Ratliff finds himself in the hole 0-2. He had a couple of singles and a hit by pitch go along with those 3 walks for his 6 plate appearances. 0-2 with 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the first, no score. And setting up outside was Johnson, and Sparks hit it, but he was set up too far outside, so 1-2 your count. The 1-2 low to even it up at 2-2. All the spring sports in action and underway. Soccer, normally a fall sport, will be starting later on in March as it was moved to the spring due to COVID. So busy times on the campuses around the state. The 2-2 to Ratliff. He'll chase one out of the zone and go down swinging. So the Bobcats go down in order. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 1 complete. We're scoreless here in Ellisville. Back after this. This is Bobcat Baseball.
in the city of lights, and the backstreet burns in the neon lights. When I heard the thunder, I could feel the rain. It's the same to me, just a different name. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no God for my streets in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Into the jungle.
We'll move to the second inning. No score in the ball game here. A 7-inning game as Meridian loaded the bases with 3 walks in the top of the first, but was not able to push anybody across with 2 outs. Bobcats went down in order in their half of the inning. Dalton Rogers back out for his second inning of work. The left-hander, USM commit. He'll have the 7, 8, and 9 hitters up for Meridian. Ridley Thomas, the second baseman. Thomas in the first game was 2 for 5 with a run scored and 3 RBIs. First pitch swinging. Fouls it back out of play. Thomas, freshman out of Northwest Rankin High School. It's under the direction of Jeff Flap McCloskey, longtime coach at Northwest Rankin. He and I spent some time up at Delta State together as well. Good baseball player, good coach. Thomas looks at strike 2. He's behind in the count 0-2. So Rogers quickly ahead of Thomas, looking to finish it off right here. And he does. Wow. Swinging strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Rogers. That'll bring up Easton Rayner. Rayner bats from the left side. He's a sophomore out of Clarkdale High School, just south of Meridian, there on Highway 45. Lefty-on-lefty matchup right here. That pitch misses outside. Easton Rayner had an unofficial at bat, I guess, in the first game because he was at bat in the 8th inning when Braden Luke was thrown out to end the inning. That pitch on the corner to even up the count at 1-1. So Rayner with his first trip to the plate in this game takes a call, strike 2. So he finds himself behind in the count 1-2. So a strikeout to start this inning. A 1-2 count on Rayner. Rogers deals it. Grounder off the glove of Rogers, and that's going to be an infield hit. Unfortunate for the Bobcats, if Rayner doesn't get a glove on it, Ducksworth probably makes the play. But once he deflected it, no chance of getting the out. So an infield single for Rayner. He'll be at first with 1 out is Aiden Johnson. The 9-hole hitter, the catcher in this game. He'll step to the plate. Johnson, the freshman out of Amory High School. The Panthers up in Monroe County. Eagles with base runners in both innings so far. 1 out. And a pitch low and away to Johnson. Leadoff man Banks totally on deck for the Eagles. That pitch low. So Johnson ahead in the count 2-0. Both teams with a lot of freshmen, some of them redshirt freshmen after the COVID season last year. A lot of freshmen listed on both rosters. Rogers falls behind Johnson 3-0. Struck out Thomas to start the inning. Then a single, infield single by Rayner and a 4-pitch walk to Johnson. As Eagles at first and second with one out in the top of the order coming up. A strikeout victim in the first inning was Tolley. Looking to have a different outcome this time. Rogers would love the same thing. The Eagles left 3 on base in the first inning. Got a couple out there, and there's going to be a base hit in the right field. May have to hold up the runner at third, and they do. As getting a late jump was Rayner from second base. Sharply hit ball to right field, and Ratliff got it in quickly. So a couple of singles, one an infield single, that one sharply hit. And again, the bases are loaded for the Eagles, this time with one out. Adam Moncour walked in the first. Now has a chance to drive in some runs here with the bases loaded. Breaking ball nearly hit him. We're at the top of the second in a no-score game, but Meridian threatening with the bases loaded. 1-0 count to Moncour. That pitch on the corner called strike. Rogers has good stuff. Been a little inconsistent here in the early going. Strikeouts or walks. A couple of hits in this inning, an infield hit, and then the hit to right field. That one misses. Gets away from Honeycutt. Going to be close. Got him. Boy, what a play. Wow. Not only did Honeycutt make the play in a sliding throw, but he threw it past Moncour, who never moved out of the box. And there to make the slap tag was Rogers to keep the game scoreless. Wow.
Close play, wasn't it?
It really was. And give our man Chase Honeycutt credit. It got away enough that I thought it was going to be tough to throw him out, and it was. It had to be a perfect throw and a bang play at that. But Rayner thrown out 2-1 for the second out. Runners advanced to second and third. Johnson at third, Tolley at second. That was a ball, so 2-1 is your count on Moncour. A high ball lifted into right field. Giving chase is Ratliff near the line. Boy, he made an adventure, didn't he? Had to reach back and catch it backhanded below his knee. Style points was good. Moncour flies out to right field for the final out. And again, the Bobcats dodge a bullet. No runs on 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left on base. Another strikeout to the credit of Rogers. We're scoreless going to the bottom of the second. You're watching Bobcat Baseball.
Bancorp South wants to know.
Where do I feel most at home? Experimenting in the kitchen.
Exploring my walk-in closet.
My man cave on game day.
I feel most at home in my 100-year-old farmhouse.
It's just the best place in the whole world.
Tell us where you want to be with mortgage solutions and home improvement loans to help you build a little more personal space.
She spends all her time in front of the bathroom mirror.
Making you feel at home. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
Back at the bank, we move to the bottom of the second. A bang-bang play at home on a pass ball keeps the game scoreless as Honeycutt was able to get the ball to Rogers in a slap tag. And Rayner was thrown out trying to score on that pass ball. So through 2 innings, the Eagles have left 5 runners on base. And that may come back to haunt them. But the Bobcats, dating back to the first game, they have gone now 4 innings in a row, 3 up and 3 down. The 10th, 11th, and 12th to end the opening game and then to start this game in the bottom of the first. Tyler Ducksworth, 0 for 4 on the day, a couple of RBIs, though, in that first game. Steps into the batter's box, the shortstop from South Jones. Looks at a pitch low for ball 1. And the Bobcats have played with fire in the first 2 innings, haven't been burned yet. Survived a bases loaded situation in the first, and then just got out of that jam in the second. Ducksworth looks at ball 2. Misses high, 3-0. Sparks had a relatively uneventful first inning. A pop up to the foul territory to the third baseman, ground out to second, and a strikeout. He'll throw one right across the plate for the first strike. 3-1 now to Ducksworth. Ducksworth trying to reach base. The 3-1. Pulled to third. Booted. Ducksworth chugging down the line. Strong throw, but not in time. As stretching, trying to make the catch was Mason. I'm not sure they would have had him if he had come up with it. But once he was not able to snag the throw, easy call for the official. Let's see. Probably an error because the third baseman, Luke, should have handled that. See what the official score puts up there. Yep. E5 there allows Ducksworth to reach. They'll take a base runner, Hunter LeBlanc, the center fielder. LeBlanc 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs in the first game. Swings the stick from the left side. They'll hold Ducksworth on, so a big hole between first and second if he can pull the ball. That pitch down and in for ball 1. Outfield shading just a little bit to left field. So expecting LeBlanc to not be able to pull the ball. If he can get it over the second baseman's head, Ducksworth will be able to get to third with no issues. Swings at a pitch out of the zone, down and away to even the count up 1-1. Ducksworth with good speed was able to reach on that booted ball. Stands at first base. Change up, fouled out of play the opposite way. LeBlanc behind the count now 1-2. Colson Harris stands on deck for the Bobcats. The first baseman out of West Jones High School. Just across the way in So-So. JC Lady Bobcat softball team went on the road to Eunice yesterday. Came away with a couple of run rule wins for the sweep against the Region 23 opponent. 8-0 and 9-1. Fouled into the glove of the catcher, and LeBlanc goes down swinging for the first out of the inning. So congratulations to head coach Chris Robinson and his staff and all those Lady Bobcats. Preseason ranked number 4 in the country.
Eunice was number 16.
I think that's, we're trying to decide, I think 7 straight wins over them, which is a sort of a feat in itself because Eunice is always very strong. Defending national champions, correct? Well, from 2 years ago, I guess I should say, because last year's season got cut short.
Right. Eunice, Coach Robinson wanted to play over there because Eunice is hosting the region, so he wanted to get a our team adjusted to playing over there. So pretty good move on his part.
I believe they adjusted pretty well. Nice breaking ball. Swing and miss by Harris. 0-1 on the count now. The Lady Bobcat softball team has some big games coming up this weekend down in Dothan, Alabama. Against number 3, College of Central Florida, number 17, Central Alabama, and then Gulf Coast State College. 2, 4:30, and 7 o'clock all on Saturday. So don't get your money's worth Saturday. That pitch low and away. Evening up the count at 1-1. Their first scheduled home game is next Tuesday, February the 9th, against Coastal Alabama South. First pitch at 1 o'clock.
We're playing baseball at the same time, I believe, against Southwest at 2 o'clock.
So it'll be a busy afternoon at the bank. Softball field just beyond the right field wall here in this beautiful complex.
Same thing a week from Friday. Baseball and softball will both be at home at pretty much the same time. It's the only 2 times it is scheduled to happen this year.
And that's sort of unusual.
Very unusual. But we're doing the opposite schedules in baseball and softball this year as well.
So the 1-1 to Harris gets past the catcher, Johnson. So Ducksworth is able to trot down to second. You know, if we were on the base path, Sean, that's the kind of play it would take for us to maybe get from one base to the next. It might still be a close play.
Oh, I could make it if there was like nobody out here at midnight.
So you'd have trouble on the pass ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd have a great deal of difficulty.
Hey, with that weight loss you've had now, I know your speed's picked up.
I'd probably get so winded, I'd pass out between first and second.
Take a 20. Don't throw it down. Time taken by.
Got the base umpire saying something.
I don't know what it might be. Ducksworth in scoring position, though, with 1 out for the Bobcats. 2-1 the count on Harris. He'll swing and miss at a sweeping breaking ball. 2-2 now. That's a tough pitch right there. It's over the heart of the plate. Looks good. Then it just tails off and out of the zone, and you've committed a swing. It's just really no chance of hitting that one. We'll give Sparks credit. Really nice pitch. 2-2. Stepping back off the rubber. Sparks will regroup. Bobcats win in order the first inning. Ducksworth reached on an error. A strikeout by LeBlanc. Now a 2-2 count on Harris, and he'll swing and miss on a low pitch. Was it a foul ball? What's the deal?
Oh, okay.
I didn't see the officials.
He called a balk.
Okay. That's what it was. I knew I didn't see the officials throw the hand up like a foul ball, but I didn't see them throw it up like they normally do with a balk. Base officials coming over to explain to the Meridian dugout what the call was, and it must have been a balk. So no pitch. The count stays 2-2, but Ducksworth now at third base with 1 out. And it was that breaking ball that Harris swung at and missed. Got to dig in right here and expect the same thing. Sparks may try to bust a fastball in on him, though. He's had trouble with the breaking ball. Same thing. Swing and a miss by Harris. So back-to-back strikeouts for the 2 outs in this inning. Jesse Johnson, a chance to drive in Ducksworth from third. Johnson pinch hit in the first game, 0 for 1. Johnson, the freshman out of Purvis High School, batting from the left side. That pitch, a called strike, right at the bottom of the zone.
See, Jesse can pitch, play infield or outfield, so he's
one of them utility players.
Yeah, they want him. They can get him in the lineup just about anywhere.
The Purvis Tornado grad. The 0-1 swing on a slow breaking ball comes up empty. So Johnson trying to avoid the strike here. trying to stay alive as Sparks trying to strike out the side after an error allowed Ducksworth to reach to lead off this inning. Ball gets away. Ducksworth going to try to get there, and he will. It didn't go far, but it went far enough, and Johnson couldn't track it down. So where we were able to throw the attempted score on a pass ball out, Meridian was not able to do that, so Ducksworth scoring, giving the Bobcats the lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the second.
Our first lead of the day. We'll take it.
No hits yet, but we got the one run.
That's right.
A couple of hits in the last inning, at the top of this inning for Meridian. They left 5 on base. Couldn't get him across, so Bobcats at least taking advantage of the pass balls and the balk. Ball yanked.
Oh.
Is that Graham down there?
Graham Odom with
tell you what,
with the side kick down there.
It. Nonchalantly doing that. Look at him. I'm going to ask him about that tomorrow. Hey, no big deal. He's explaining to him how he did it. Again, like the old hockey goalie save, just kicking it. The 1-2 driven left field. Giving chase is Moncour at the foul line, and he'll make the catch. So the Bobcats able to get on the board with one run, no hits. There was one error, and nobody left on base. After 2 innings of play, the Bobcats lead at 1-0. Back after this, you're watching Bobcat Baseball.
Hattiesburg is the place for the athlete. You pick the goal. We help you get there. Join a team, not a gym. D1 of Hattiesburg, 4600 Hardy Street. D-BAT of Hattiesburg is the premier baseball and softball training facility. Come by and see what we have to offer at D-BAT of Hattiesburg, 4600 Hardy Street.
Bobcats, without the aid of a hit, was able to push a run across in the second inning as the error to start that inning proved costly to Meridian. Tyler Ducksworth reached on the error and was able to get to third thanks to a balk. A pass ball got him to second. A balk got him to third, and a pass ball scored him. So 1-0, the Bobcats lead it here. Going to the third inning of this second game. Due up for Meridian as their 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Braden Luke walked in the first. John Mitchell awaits on deck for the Eagles. Second inning of work was a little hairy like the first for Rogers as he's out for his third inning. Gets a call, strike one. Fouled out of play. So the count 0-2.
Hunter French in right field.
So defensively for the Bobcats, Hunter French in right field. Cade Keaton at second base. Swinging strike 3. Tell you what, Rogers, when he's on, he's got good stuff for sure. That's his 4th strikeout of the game. Has led each inning off with a strikeout, and then it seems like he's struggled a little bit since then. So he can keep that focus and throw like that. It'll make us all a little bit happier. Speak of the devil, we were just talking about those Lady Bobcat softballers, and the head guru himself has joined us in the booth. May get a chance to talk with him a little bit about those 2 big wins yesterday at Eunice. As Mitchell takes ball 1. Rogers rocks and fires and gets a call strike to even up the count at 1-1. Rogers deals the 1-1. Strike two on the inside corner. So ahead in the count 1-2 on Mitchell. Looking for another swinging strike. Instead, he's going to plunk Mitchell. So Mitchell on after being hit by that pitch. So that'll bring up Brett Mason, who walked in the first inning, to load the bases. In the first game, Mason was 1 for 5 with a couple of runs scored. Two hits for the Eagles so far, 0-2-1, 1-0-0 for the Bobcats. The Eagles have stranded 5 runners through the first 2 innings. That pitch low and inside to Mason for ball 1. Rogers looks, delivers on the outside corner for a called strike. Count even now at 1-1. The 1-2 to Mason. Low for ball 2. So the count now at 2-1. Bo Gatlin awaits on deck for the Eagles. 2-1 grounded towards second. Keaton with a nice play. Boy, good pivot there to get the lead runner. Excellent play by the young man who just came in defensively. He was the DH in the first game. Keaton, the freshman out of Brandon High School, smoothed the silk on that play right there as Mason reaches on the fielder's choice. And Mitchell is forced at second for the second out of the inning. Bo Gatlin struck out to end the first. Steps in to face Rogers. Gatlin with a hard hit ball and an error in the top of the 12th ended up scoring the winning run as he'll swing and miss. Foul tip it right into the mitt of Honeycutt. Rogers trying to get out of this inning unscathed. Dodged some bullets in the first 2. Got a runner at first with 2 outs. And an 0-2 count now on Bo Gatlin. 2 good pitches there. Bottom half of the strike zone. 4 strikeouts so far for Rogers and nearly hit Gatlin on the toe. Ball got away. And Honeycutt, no chance really to throw out Mason as he's able to get to second. 1-2 the count on Bo Gatlin. Gatlin, the sophomore out of Oxford High School. He's made some really nice plays out at short tonight. Good solid player for the Eagles. The 1-2 to Gatlin. Caught looking at a beautiful breaking pitch. So back-to-back strikeouts in his plate appearance. Another man left stranded for the Eagles. No runs on no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. Going to the bottom of the third, the Bobcats lead at 1-0. Due up for Jones will be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. We'll be back after this break. You're watching Bobcat Baseball.
I lost my in the city of lights. And the best street burns in the neon lights. When I heard the thunder, I could feel the rain. It's the same to me, just different name. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no guide for my streets in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Into the jungle.
Back in the bank, we'll move to the bottom of the third. Bobcats leading 1-0. We'll have Chase Honeycutt, Andrew Howard, and Cade Keaton due up. We'll chat a little bit this inning with head softball coach Chris Robinson. I mentioned the Lady Bobcats went on the road against a tough Region 23 opponent in LSU Eunice yesterday for the opening games of the season, and a couple of run rule wins, 8-0, 9-1. So I know he's pleased with that, and we'll hear a little bit about that as we go through this inning. Honeycutt made a nice defensive play to keep the game scoreless earlier in this game. A chance at the plate now. First time in this second game. A big hack, but comes up empty. As Honeycutt, the freshman out of DeSoto Central, didn't get cheated on that cut. I guess if you don't cut at it, don't get cheated, huh, Coach?
That's right. You only get 3 of them.
Well, they got cheated on
that
one.
He got cheated on that. He cheated himself on that one.
The old breaking ball has been good from Sparks in this game, and he's made our batters look a little silly sometimes, but, hey, give him credit. That's just a good pitch. 0-2 to Honeycutt to start the bottom of the third. Bobcats still looking for their first hit, but they did push a run across. A swing and a miss. Got to find the loose ball and throw it down the first, and they do. Nice play there by Johnson to retire Honeycutt with a strikeout. Yesterday, anytime you go play LSU Eunice here or there, you know you're going to get a quality opponent just because of the tradition of the teams they have. But to go over and play like that, you got to be pleased with how your girls play.
Oh, we were. We were very excited to get a chance to play. And you're right, Mark. Anytime you get a chance to go over to Eunice and play and come out of there with a sweep, much less 2 run rule victories, you've got to be extremely pleased with how well you played.
Andrew Howard, starting third baseman for the Bobcats, looks at ball 1 outside. Howard in the first game was 0 for 2. He'll take a good hack at that one. 1-1 now. And, you know, we talked about earlier, you wanted to go over there and play because they're hosting the region this year. So just to get your girls the experience of playing in that park, but also the travel and that environment.
And it was a good environment. They did a really good job of keeping their dugout really loud. And our kids have not been in that type of situation because we hadn't played in the spring. And so I thought our kids handled it well. And it took us a little while to get going offensively. We didn't have a hit through 3. And then, Taisha Cole leads off with a double. And it just kind of went from there. We had a
deep fly ball to center field, but deepest part of the park is totally goes back and settles under it for the second out as Howard flies out deep left. Or deep center, that's the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Keaton.
Ball just don't travel at night here, does it?
No. The first inning of that first game, were you here for that?
Yeah, I saw it. We were practicing, but I saw it.
You saw it and heard it, probably.
Saw it and heard it, and you're right.
Yeah, it traveled well from Meridian in that first inning as they hit a 2-run homer and a 3-run bomb to center field.
And even the one that they went up 8-7 on, it struck really well. But no, anytime you can go over there and play well, and like you said, we wanted our kids to see to be able to see the atmosphere and the drive, and so you hit the nail on the head, partner. It was a great job by our kids, and just so proud of. We pitched extremely well. Billy Boykin and throws a 3-hit shutout with nine strikeouts, and then Sterling James comes in and it had just really just got her back. She'd been a little bit injured, and she goes out there and scatters. Throws a 1-hitter, and gives up 1 unearned. Just phenomenal job by our pitching staff, and Bob Harrington called a fantastic doubleheader. So we were very, very thrilled, and we had some freshmen come up in key spots, and that's what helped us to jump out 2-0 on them, because we had Taisha Cole hits the double, and then Lauren Lindsay, a freshman out of Baker in Mobile, she gets us a single, and then Tia Saunders hits a 2-out single.
Hutchinson dribbles one between first and second for a hit. I'd said Keaton was up to bat, but I think Keaton is in the DH spot, even though he is playing defensively at second. So Hutchinson reaches base on a 2-1 pitch for the first hit of the game for the Bobcats. They're leading 1-0. That'll bring DJ Booth to the plate. He grounded out to second way back in the first inning. It all starts with pitching, though, doesn't it? You got a good stable of pitchers right there.
We do, and that was probably one of our biggest concerns was we had 4 coming out of the fall, and felt really good about all 4 of them. And in a matter of 2 days, we lose Nia Luckett to a shoulder and then to an ankle, and then we lose which she's back now, but we lose Kristen Walker. She's got a stress fracture. She's still out another 4 to 6 weeks, so. That was a big concern for us, coming in, but just to see what they did for us, Sterling and Breeley, and, just put us on our back and carried us through those games until our offense woke up, and then we scored. After the 3rd inning of game 1, we scored in every inning that we played after that. So that was very impressive. Our kids just kept on and kept on.
Yeah. And, that's one thing I know y'all put a lot of emphasis on, depth at all positions, but especially that pitching spot. So when you do have some of those unforeseen injuries and things just happen, that's sports.
That's part of it.
You got to have somebody step next person up.
Right, and that's what we hit to our kids all the time. Just, hey, it's the next person up. Who's up? Who's going to make a play? And
on the move is Hutchinson, a good throw down, and they should have him as able to hold on to the ball was Gatlin. Trying to get a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Can't fault him there. Good play, good throw there from Johnson to Gatlin. That'll retire the Bobcats. We'll just keep it here.
Talk a little more.
Talk
sure.
a little more. And let me finish up my note-taking right here real quick. So Booth will start the inning off as he was at the plate as the runner. Hutchinson was caught stealing. So no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. And nobody left on base. Bobcats lead at 1-0 after 3 innings of play. We're talking with head softball coach Chris Robinson of the Jones College Lady Bobcats, preseason ranked number 4. You got talent, but it takes more than talent to be successful. You got to have good girls. You got to have good team chemistry. And all of that, you've got this thing. Some people may say, well, he's just reloading, but it's a challenge every year to get good players to try to keep up with and stay where you are and try to improve from year to year. And that's something your coaching staff does. They get players from all over, from the north part of the state to the south, east, west, out of state, everywhere. But, when you got the facilities that we have and you got the tradition and the winning tradition that we have, people want to come play here, too.
Yeah, they do. And I tell you, Jones College sells itself. We've always said if we get them on campus and they get a chance to see what an average day, whatever our new average day is. I think we're getting to that now in this spring semester, which I know our kids have been really excited about the buzz of people being back on campus. But, just getting that, the average day, what it's like at Jones, they love it. And that's just a testament to what our administration, provides for us and provides the atmosphere that Jones College is. And anytime you can do that, that makes our job as coaches a whole lot easier because, we tell them we get in here and softball's going to probably be about 30% of what you're going to do in your whole career at Jones, and so you've got to be able to have you got to be able to experience everything.
Yeah.
So we're glad they're out there doing it now, and it's just a special place. I tell people all the time, I don't know what it is about it, but, we have people all the time that say, I wish it was a 4-year school.
Yeah. Ridley Thomas quickly behind in the count 0-2 with 2 swinging strikes. The 0-2 from Rogers fouled out of play. Staying alive is Thomas. That's been the case. I was here for 20 years before I retired. This is my 22nd year part-time these last 2. But when I was coaching, and every coach, just like you said, every player that came through had such a good time. If it was 4 years, I'd stay.
Oh, no doubt. And I think one of the things that we don't talk a lot about is, when we bring kids in on visits, I look at the parents and I say, I'm going to ask you a question at the end of the visit. It's going to be, if you drop your daughter off here to come to school, are you going to feel safe that she's here?
Yeah.
And it's resounding yes.
A beautiful breaking ball in the inside corner. Checking his swing, but it didn't matter because that was a call. Third strike on Ridley Thomas. Strikeout the fourth inning in a row to start the inning by Rogers. Not a bad way to start it.
No,
Again, just got to keep it focused and finish it because the last inning only allowed one runner on base hit by a pitch, but those first two sort of lost his focus a little bit and dodged some bullets.
He's
swinging and a miss.
He's settling down now. You can tell he's got a lot of bite to his breaking ball, and his fastball's got a little zip on it too. So he's Dalton's coming here and really giving the Bobcats a shot in the arm. And anytime you come off you score a bunch of runs in the first game, and you still end up losing the game. You need a big start from your number two guy or your game two starter. It may not be his number two, but it's the game two. He gets another ground ball.
To short. Ducksworth coming in, having trouble getting out of his glove. Quick throw, though, boy. Yeah. Got a nice arm. Chunked it across for the out. Ducksworth double clutched a time or two, but was able to get it across quickly to Harris for the second out. And how important is it, Coach, to dodge those bullets in the first two innings after walking the bases full and then surviving the second inning too?
Well, we talk all the time, and I'm sure Coach Kirtland does the same thing about limiting the amount of outs you give teams per inning. And I mean, you saw it in game one. I don't know how many. I know we made 2 errors in the first inning, and they put a 6 spot on them. But the only run we gave up yesterday is because we couldn't field a ground ball on 2 different occasions. And we just tell them all the time, guys, you're going to be a very good team if you limit other teams to 3 outs an inning.
You give good teams extra outs, they're going to make you pay.
They're going to hurt you. They're going to hurt your feelings too.
So we were fortunate to dodge those bullets in the first 2 innings of this game. Now Rogers retires the first 2 batters in the 4th. Johnson, the catcher, up. He'll look at a call strike to even the count up at 1-1. Let's talk about this weekend, Saturday. Going to go over there and get a little oil check. Got some good quality opponents, and I know that's what you like to play early on just to get that experience. I don't know where that pitch was, inside a little bit, 2-1. But get that experience for your girls against really good competition, high-quality competition, and that's going to be 3-1, rather. There's your count. And that's going to be what you look for this weekend and hopefully come away with some wins, too.
Yeah, that's, you go off and you play. The Visit Dothan tournament is probably the best tournament as far as quality competition from around the country to come to one spot. This will be our first time going to it. We just couldn't make the dates match up, for us to go. Last year we go out to Las Vegas and play, and, we didn't want to turn around and go to Dothan after that. But it's going to be an extremely tough day for us. I mean, we're good pitch there.
The 3-2 pitch. I believe all the fans, the Bobcat defenders especially, the Bobcat dugout, us, you.
I was stopping because I figured it was going to be the end of the inning.
And I think Meridian actually thought that was a ball 4.
But I'd stop talking because of that. But no, anytime we go over, we'll start off with College of Central Florida, who have 3 third-year players who are leading their team in hitting. They're going to be – all their kids are going to be able to throw it pretty good, spot it up, and they're scoring a bunch of runs. I think they're averaging over 10 runs a game right now. So it'll be a good challenge for us. And I didn't realize this the other day, but I was looking at the Massey ratings, which is a really good as far as telling us where we are. Mm-hmm. And we are the number 1 strength of schedule in the entire country for all of junior colleges.
Wow.
So that's what we want to do. And so if you get a pass ball or a wild pitch there, that moves him up to second base. But then we'll play Central Alabama Community College. They always do a really good job. Greg Shivers over there. They'll be an extremely scrappy bunch that plays the game the right way. And then we'll finish it off at Gulf Coast State College in Panama City. And, one of the biggest differences between, us and them as far as the Division I, Division II, they're all 3 Division I schools, which means that they can provide more money than we can. So for us to get over there and get a chance to play against schools like that, it's, I tell people all the time, in Region 23 is probably the second toughest region in the entire country, Division I, Division II, and D3, behind possibly Region 8, which is Florida, and so for us to get a chance to go over there and play, and we're going to play two of the three schools we play as out of Region 8. I tell people all the time that's what we want to do. We come to Jones to play great competition to possibly go to a place you've never been. And we can say softball took you there, i.e. the trip to Vegas last year, and the kids just had a wonderful time. And, but it's going to prepare us for that 28-game gauntlet that we're going to play starting February 27th.
Yep. A 3-1 count to the leadoff batter, Banks Tolley. Runner at second for the Eagles in a 1-0 ball game. Jones pushed one run across in the bottom of the second. Looking to get out of this inning, Dalton Rogers retired the first two batters, then walked Andon Johnson, and a wild pitch moved him to second. A swinging strike two. Now, if Rogers can bear down right here on the full count and get out of this inning, another bullet dodged. It's just good to play, isn't it? I know Kirkland was the same way about today's game, you about yesterday. Just all the work in the fall, as it bounces up to the plate for ball four, and won't say no reward for it, but you really didn't play your normal fall schedule and just a long, drawn-out practice season in the fall.
Yeah, we didn't. It was 327 days from the time that we played.
I saw that,
and I didn't realize that until I was counting it up the other day, and I was like, my goodness, 327 days. That's a year. And then you realize it's February, and you got cut off in March 11th. So, just talking to our kids, and we come in. We don't come in till September 8th is when we first started. We actually get quarantined for 19 days, throughout the semester because of contact tracing and and stuff like that, and just being extremely cautious, which I'm grateful for. And then we leave November 20th, so we don't see our kids back until January 4th. So, we almost, I was nervously anxious that, and optimistic that I was hoping we were going to play well because we hadn't really had a lot of time with them. So that was also, a little bit, gratifying as well to sit back and look and go, okay, these kids really did play well, and we didn't have a whole lot of time.
Adam Moncour
got a baseball on the field I don't know if that was from the Bobcat bullpen or.
I think it is. Was that a no pitch right there? I don't think so.
No, I think
he delivered it before they saw the ball. Heard somebody in the stand say there's a ball in the field. We'll see as this at-bat progresses. Runners at first and second. Both of those reached by way of the walk. It's Rogers facing Moncour, who's looking for his first hit of the day.
How does Coach Kirkland like playing this in-state only schedule?
It's different.
It is different. I'm glad we did not, as softball, go to it, because of the arm situation. I doubt Meridian sees either one of these two arms whenever they play again. There's another ball on the field. It's in foul territory down there. We may not want to put that guy in a game.
I was just going to say, let's check and see who that is. Boy, swing at a tough breaking ball. That nearly hit the foot of Moncour, but he was fooled badly. So we're going to say it's 2-1, and it is. That first pitch was an official pitch. Even though the ball got on the field, the officials did not see it until after the fact. So 2-1 the count on Moncour. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Dribbled out off the plate. I guess a foul ball. It may have hit him on the foot.
I guess it did, Mark.
Because the plate is in actual fair territory. It had a little different sound to it, but he didn't hop
jump
around
out,
like it hit him in the foot. 2-2 your count.
You better sell that, buddy, or you're going to be having a 1-3 put-out inning's going to be
That's
over.
Right. So, looking forward to seeing you girls play. I know y'all are excited to play this season. I think you were 15-3 when the season was canceled last year. Swing barely got a piece of it to stay alive.
And it started to play well. We really started to play well, and we were playing with a bunch of freshmen, and I think yesterday we ended up starting like 8 sophomores in the lineup and on the field. So it was very good for us to get out there, and actually we started 7 freshmen in the lineup, or 7 sophomores in the lineup. So, but you said that you can call them sophomores all day long, but they only had 18 games.
That's right.
So they're really all freshmen, to be honest with you.
Count and run fulls now on Moncour. Runners will be in motion with 2 outs. So a chance for Moncour to get the Eagles on the scoreboard with a base hit. Johnson at second, Tolley at first. Full count with 2 outs from Rogers. Will come momentarily as he turns and looks Johnson back to second base. I'm not going to say anything, but another ball got on the field way out there next to the wall.
Tell you what, they running that old boy.
earning his scholarship money just chasing down a loose ball. Huh? We're in the top of the 4th, 1-0 Jones on top. Rogers, very deliberate right here. Big situation here near the midway point of this game. And he'll walk Moncour and the bases are loaded. Walked the bases full in the 1st inning. Has now walked the bases full in the 4th inning. Was able to strike out Bo Gatlin to get out of trouble, but now you got a dangerous hitter in Braden Luke. Walked in the 1st, did strike him out to start the 3rd. But a totally different matter right here with the bases juiced in the top of the 4th. 0-2-1 for Meridian. Call strike on the corner. 1-1-0 for the Bobcats. Maybe a generous call right there. Luke sort of shaking his head, not quite in agreement with that call. 0-1 on Braden.
Yeah, he didn't agree with it, but that next one's going to be even wider. He may call it a strike, too, for showing the umpire out.
Low blocked up nicely by Honeycutt. Or did he actually call it a strike? The board has it as a
ball.
ball.
He did. I think he did because he pointed. And
yeah. 1-1 your count. So Rogers trying to be Houdini again. If he can, it'll be 3 out of the 4 innings. He's dodged bullets. An escape artist. That pitch rolls away, but blocked up nicely by Honeycutt, so the runners can advance. And that 2nd inning, when Rayner was thrown out trying to score on a pass ball, that was a big play in the game. And a big at-bat right here for Luke.
Yeah, we ain't got no place to put him. He's going to have to come see him here.
Playing behind the runner at first as well against the left-hander. He'll foul it off the opposite way. Count even now at 2-2. He's a little frustrated with himself. Is Braden Luke missing that pitch. Inside fastball, not able to get around on it. Got it in on his hands. So the first home games for you against Coastal Alabama South a week from Tuesday, February the 9th. So it'd be good to be at the bank for sure.
We'll be. We're excited about being able to play at home, but got a quality opponent coming in Coastal Alabama South. So we're looking forward to playing in front of some of the best fans in the country. Hopefully we'll have a really good crowd. We appreciate our administration allowing fans to come in.
Caught looking on the outside corner, painting the edge was Dalton Rogers and Braden Luke. A strikeout victim again. And Houdini dodges the bullets again. No runs on no hits, no errors. There were 3 men left on base again. We've played 3.5. We're halfway home. The Bobcats lead at 1-0. Back after this, you're watching Bobcat Baseball.
More than 75 years, Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Delicious meats, pit smoked, low and slow, on site, every day, every location. Because some things never change, and some things do. Dickey's introduces an expanded menu which includes butcher tacos, your favorite slow smoked barbecue meats, and a warm flour tortilla. Barbecue sliders, snackably sized barbecue awesomeness on our famous buttery rolls. Smokestacks, smoking good meats, and savory sides in a single serving bowl. Our specialty Westerners, offered with new combinations of meat and toppings. Don't worry, don't fret, we didn't forget your favorites. Our classic sandwiches and plates featuring meats and 2 sides, which the Dickey's family has been serving for 3 generations.
Since 1941, our family at Dickey's has been serving your family.
Old school flavor, new school twist. Dickey's, we speak barbecue.
We'll We'll move to the bottom of the fourth. Bobcats lead at 1-0. Sparks on the mound to start his fourth inning of work. Dalton Rogers has gone 4, but has faced some trouble in 3 of those 4, but yet to allow a run. So that says something right there for Mr. Rogers. He can work his way out of trouble. Caught looking was Braden Luke to end that 4th inning with the bases loaded. Second time they've left them loaded. They've stranded 9 runners through 4 innings.
Wow. I know what they're preaching.
As a coach, that's
I know what they're preaching in that dugout. No doubt about it. That's got to be frustrating for them. And, you know, it's you get into a pitcher's duel and you have an opportunity like that, you got to take advantage of, especially when you're 9 and 4 innings.
Yeah.
Wow.
DJ Booth was at the plate when Murray Hutchinson was thrown out trying to steal to end the 3rd inning, so he'll step back into the batter's box. Booth, the freshman out of Oak Grove High School. Had a nice first game, 2 for 5 from the plate. 3 runs. Grounded out to second to start this game in the first.
It's a good-looking kid.
Yeah. We're halfway there, a 7-inning affair here on the back end of this doubleheader. Ball, I guess, a little outside. Tell you, being offset from home plate, some of those pitches look so good. But again, we're not lined up with home plate, so we're just guesstimating. Ripped, but foul. Boy, he had a good cut at that one. And sometimes I think some officials sometimes just sort of guesstimate it.
Sure, sure.
have a tough job, I know. But
tell people all the time they do not get paid enough for what they do.
Y'all coaches abusing them.
Get yelled at for 5.5 hours.
Off-speed pitch.
I'll say that we do not, in the softball world, we do not pay our officials enough. I mean, for what they do. And, you know, a lot of our guys are, you know, taking a half day to a full day off work to come play and to come call a game. And it's not a whole lot of money. I would not want their job.
2-1 the count after that off-speed pitch misses. Ball, again, pulled foul. So Booth has been out in front of a couple of pitches. Count even now at 2-2. Bobcats with 1 hit. The Eagles with a couple. But that one error by the Eagles, the difference in the game, allowed Ducksworth to reach base. Then a pass ball and a balk got him to third, and he scored on the pass ball. Change up, lifted lazily into left field. Tough play. That'll drop fair, and that'll be a stand-up double for Booth. I thought it hit fair all the way. I know the players are trying to sell it, but I thought it was well inside the line. And the official lined up right on that left field line. If you can't catch it, try to sell the call, and that's what the shortstop or third baseman and left fielder were trying to do.
Well, and the best angle was the one the home plate umpire had. And so I get the 2 guys, the third baseman and the left fielder, fussing about it, but they're trying to run and try to go make that play. They may not see where that ball landed, you know, and so because they're so busy trying to get over there and get to it. But hey, we'll take it. Game of inches.
That's right. Hunter French, the redshirt freshman out of DeSoto Central, steps in for his first at bat.
Mississippi State transfer.
Yeah, he came in from the 3rd inning into right field in the place of Preston Ratliff. And he'll look at a pass ball, and that will allow Booth to get to third. I was going to say, I'm just glad DJ was able to get to second without falling down. Boy, he just ripped that one in the first game, just so unlucky. And that may have been a difference in the game.
Oh, ain't no doubt, because we hit a base hit the next inning, and he'd have scored.
Yeah, and that would – no, that's just we scored a couple in that inning.
But it would have been one more, and we probably win the game if that's the case, because we tied it up in the bottom half.
But as you said, it's a game of inches.
It is.
That 1 inch where he's tripped over his own feet, I guess.
No, he may have tripped over his shoelace or something, I'm not sure.
But at third for Hunter French, he'll look at ball 2. Booth is in scoring position with no outs.
You a little surprised that they got the infield in, being the fact they've left 9 on base? You got 9 outs to play with?
Well, we got a visit to the mound to discuss this.
Yeah.
In a way, But I don't know. That's why he gets paid the money.
And we get paid to talk about him.
You get paid?
No, I don't. You're right. Y'all get paid to talk about me.
I get paid. I got to go talk with my agent. Coach Sutter goes out to try to settle Sparks down. He's looked good, giving up one run, and that was on no hits back in the second. Bobcats got their first hit in the third, and then that bloop double, the second hit of the game. So Sparks has been very effective, and he does stay in the game. But in a way, I think so. But, again, a 7-inning game, you may be thinking, well, let's try to cut that run down, but then you give them a chance to maybe have a bigger inning, too.
Sure.
French is able to push one through the infield here. 2-0 the count on Hunter. Booth at third, and that pitch nearly got away from Johnson. They're able to stop it, but 3-0 now to French. So, sure he's got the take sign here, but who knows? If he grooves one right down the middle, you might have green light with infield in. Ducksworth on deck for the Bobcats. That pitch off the plate inside, so French trots down to first after the 4-pitch walk. Now with the run on first, middle infield probably go back double play depth.
And this is the reason why I don't understand it, because they're gonna, if they try to turn two, they're gonna give up the run anyway. Exactly. So what's the use in having them in? I guess I don't know.
Because from a pitcher's perspective, if you know your infielders are in, do you think you got to make it more
right?
Perfect pitch?
Sure,
so
absolutely.
Put it in play?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just kind of. I don't know. I don't do baseball, so.
So you're saying in softball you wouldn't have brought your infielders in?
Probably not. Not knowing that I've left 9 on base.
Yeah. Tyler Ducksworth, the shortstop out of South Jones. Now Sparks having trouble finding the plate.
Yeah, I'd probably be more mad at my kids for not scoring if we've left 9 on base through 4, but, just eventually you think you're going to get to them if you've done that.
Yeah. A lot of baseball left here in the bottom of the 4th. French at first, Booth at third. No outs for the Bobcats. 1-0 to Ducksworth. 2-0 as that ball is low. So missing on 6 straight. Activity in the Eagle bullpen. Visiting with head coach Chris Robinson, Lady Bobcat softball coach here at Jones. The 2-0 pitch from Sparks. Breaking ball right in there for a call strike. The last season, the eligibility and all, everybody, your freshmen that were able to come back, a number of those did, obviously. But only half a season played. That experience was big, but still, as you said, like freshmen are playing this year. But I know that pitch misses outside. I know that you recruit for, and these girls come to Jones for the chance to play for national titles, having won one and played for it a few times and have great showings in the national tournament. But, it's got to be good and fun as a coach knowing, hey, that the girls come here and they are competitors, they're winners, and they want to get after it, and you know that what you're going to have out on the field there.
Sure. No, there's no doubt about it. I mean, we tell them all the time, you're going to play against some of the best players in the state of Mississippi right here in practice every day.
Yeah.
And we stress that a lot, and they buy into it. I mean, one of the biggest things that we tell them is that you're here because you hit 1 through 5 in your lineup in high school, or you're the number 1 arm.
Yeah. The full count pitch to Ducksworth, no outs. One hopper to second, gets onto the glove. That'll allow French to get to third. Well, French was right in front of the second baseman, Thomas, and that was enough to distract him. The ball scooped under his glove. At best, they were going to get it out at second. But Ducksworth put it in play. And that's probably an error on the second baseman. The Bobcats tack on another run with DJ Booth coming in.
Yeah, tough play. I mean, I say tough play. He knew the runner was flashing. He was going to try to go ahead and try to turn 2 if he picked it, and it just went right up underneath his web and his glove.
Yeah, second error on the Eagles. And we'll have a coaching change. Ducksworth reaches on the error. A run scores. Bobcats up 2-0 here. And we'll take a break with them. In the bottom of the 4th, this is Bobcat Baseball.
DBAT of Hattiesburg is the premier baseball and softball training facility. Come by and see what we have to offer at DBAT of Hattiesburg, 4600 Hardy Street. Hattiesburg is the place for the athlete. You pick the goal. We help you get there. Join a team, not a gym. D1 of Hattiesburg, 4600 Hardy Street.
Back in the bank in Ellisville. I do know what I'm talking about sometimes. There's not a coaching change, it's a pitching change, coaching visit. Lane Ladner, the new pitcher for the Eagles. Ladner, the big left-hander out of Hancock High School down in the Kill. He's a freshman left-hander. Got runners on base that he will inherit as Alex Sparks goes 3+ innings. A couple of runs given up there. Only a couple of hits for the Bobcats, so might say Alex Sparks deserved a better fate as his teammates have left 9 runners on base through 4 innings in a 2-0 ball game. So Ladner will try to stem the tide here as Bobcats have runners on the corners. Hunter French at third, Tyler Ducksworth at first. No outs still here in the bottom of the 4th. And vision with head coach Chris Robinson. Of the Lady Bobcats softball team. So you talked about Coach Harrington, Bob Harrington, calling great games yesterday, but you got a pretty good assistant as well in Tori Dew.
Oh yeah, I got a phenomenal
former player here and All-American, and your staff, starting with you on down, pretty good staff too.
Yeah, I mean I'm blessed. I mean they get to work with a knucklehead, and a guy.
They know you pretty well.
The guy that's right, and the guy that jumps around and likes to have a good time, and I tell people all the time, I'm just a redneck from South Mississippi that likes to have fun and know just a little bit about the game. But anyway, no, Tori Dew does a phenomenal job. I mean, and I tell her, she has the respect of the players because she wore the jersey.
Yeah.
And good pitch there.
Nice breaking ball, 0-2 on Hunter LeBlanc.
She wore the jersey. Her name's out there on the wall as a National Player of the Year. I mean, that those accolades speak for themselves. But she's so passionate about what she does, and she tells you, "This is my dream job. I've always wanted to come back here."
Talking about a filthy pitch right there. Barely getting a piece of it for the.
I think they're fussing about a balk. He wants it to be a balk. Quick pitch.
Yeah, strike 3.
I don't think he ever came set. I think Hunter's got a great point.
That'll bring Colson Harris to the plate as LeBlanc goes down on strikes.
But she really does, and she's got these hitters locked in right now. And, after we kind of shucking off the rust and got the nerves, got the eyeballs down a little bit, they go and they score in every inning, and so that's when you do that, that's impressive. And, they just kept on and kept on and kept on, and was very, very pleased with what they've done and the progress that she's made with them so far.
Harris, a strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning. Takes a call strike to even up the count at 1-1. An opportunity to drive in a run here with French at third, Ducksworth at first. 1-1 the count with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-0. Jones on top. Throw to first. Ducksworth back with no issues. Appreciate you stopping by. You can keep that headset on all you want to, and we'll talk.
Well, I'm the game administrator, so I might as well.
Well, game administrator in charge of supper, isn't he?
I'm in. No, I don't know all that. But I am warm, so I do I'll stay in here if that's all right. If that's okay with you guys.
Yeah,
Sean,
okay.
am I imposing on you?
2-1 the count as that pitch misses high. I guess Subway will be in my.
I actually have Casadores that waiting for me at home. So
again, keeping a close watch on Ducksworth, thinking he might be in motion with one out, trying to stay out of the double play.
I know Chris and the coaching staff, baseball guys, are really excited about this bunch this year, and I mean they put up 9 runs in the first game, or 10 runs, like 10.
Yeah. Defense a little shaky.
Yeah.
We talked about the with that pitch, 3-1 out of Harris. We talked about the practice schedule and some COVID protocol, and that's the case for all teams in the state, that you don't really get any continuity in your practice,
right.
and that probably will come out here in the first part of the season as teams sort of get some games under their belt. Nice breaking ball.
It hurt us. I know it did. I mean, you go get quarantined for 19 days, and you don't start till the 8th. But I tell you what, we were very appreciative of Dr. Smith and all of y'all and the decisions you guys made by letting us come back January 4th. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, we were able to squeeze.
Full count, swing and a miss. Boy, that handcuffed
terrible.
Harris right there. Tough pitch.
Able to come back January 4th, and every Tuesday and Thursday we went twice, because we weren't in school, and so it was just we got a chance to catch up on some of those practices and that we had missed.
Like football days.
It felt like football days, huh? Yeah. So and the kids who came back that Sunday right before school started, and they were like, I don't know if I want to go back to school. I've been having fun eating and playing softball and just hanging out, So, but I thought the guys, you're really going to like it once all these students get back on campus, and they were really excited about that.
Jesse Johnson, the DH, swings and misses at a good breaking pitch. So Ladner trying to keep the Bobcats at bay here. 2-0 lead for Jones. A strikeout for the second out with runners at the corner. Ahead in the count 0-1 on Johnson. That pitch stays high for 1-1.
I think they're still hollering balk right now.
Yeah, LeBlanc, a strikeout victim. He was the first batter that Ladner faced. So back-to-back strikeouts here since Ladner has entered the game. Got a mean breaking ball from that left side. That's another one right there. Must have stayed high a little bit. So count 2-1. The Meridian faithful wanting to know where that pitch was. We're in the bottom of the fourth, 2-0. Jones with that lead scored 1 in the second without a hit. Have pushed 1 across so far here in the fourth. If you had a crystal ball, if you knew that Ladner was just going to lollipop that throw of the first, French could take off, but we don't have that crystal ball.
No, we don't have it, and it's unfortunate if that's the case. If we could go,
Boy, good pitch. Called strike, so the count even out 2-2.
I haven't seen him throw a fastball, Mark. I mean, maybe I just haven't been paying attention, but everything seems to be, it's got
off speed. Yep, that
off speed.
Pitch. And it's freezing our batters so much. Running it into the hands of our right-handed batters. And freezing our left-handed batters. 2-2. Do have 2 outs. Pulled to first, a nice big hop. Fielding it and stepping on the base unassisted is Mason. So Johnson puts it in play, but 3 unassisted. And we've got 4 in the books. There was 1 run on 1 hit. No errors. 2 men left on base. Bobcats lead at 2-0 after 4. Back after this. You're watching Bobcat Baseball on JCJC.TV.
Bancorp South wants to know.
Where do I feel most at home? Experimenting in the kitchen.
Exploring my walk-in closet.
My man cave on game day.
I feel most at home in my 100-year-old farmhouse.
It's just the best place in the whole world.
Tell us where you want to be with mortgage solutions and home improvement loans to help you build a little more personal space.
She spends all her time in front of the bathroom mirror.
Making you feel at home. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
New pitcher for the Bobcats here going into the 5th inning is Andrew Nix. Andrew is the redshirt freshman. Right-hander out of Stringer, Mississippi. Looking to hold on to this 2-0 lead for the Bobcats. You can close the book on Dalton Rogers. He went 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, but no runs, dodged the bullet in 3 of those 4 innings. So nice job by Rogers to work his way out of a jam 3 times to keep the Eagles off the scoreboard. Nix will face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Eagles, John Mitchell, Brett Mason, and Bo Gatlin, the scheduled batters. Mitchell 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to first in the 1st inning, then got hit by a pitch in the 3rd before he was forced out on a fielder's choice by Mason. So looking for his first hit of this game. Meridian with 9 outs to work with here in this 7-inning game. Only trails 2-0. Good fastball fouled back and out of play by Mitchell.
Yeah, it's so funny watching, or I say funny, I mean, these guys, obviously Nix and Mitchell know a lot about one another, same hometown. You know, Nix finished up at Stringer, but Mitchell being from Ellisville, you know they've seen a lot of each other over the years.
Ooh, good breaking ball. Tight rotation, hard break. 0-2 now on Mitchell. Yeah, we talked about Andrew Howard, South Jones man. John Mitchell, former high school teammate, he and Ducksworth. So very familiar with each other. Mitchell had signed to play football at UT Martin out of high school, came back after 1 year to play baseball. That pitch a little low, count 1-2. So I had the opportunity to go to Meridian and play play baseball, and he's there now, back closer to home for his parents and grandparents to see play. The 1-2 from Nix. Breaking ball outside to count even at 2-2. And they won't find any place closer than right here at the bank. Nix with a 2-2 count to Mitchell. Fastball misses inside, so count runs full. Missing just off the plate. Sometimes you think, well, just don't like prosperity. Got up 1-2, now it's full. Fly ball lifted into right field, and French can't get to the line quick enough. So Mitchell has the single to right field.
It's a good job by Mitchell. Go down 0-2 and end up hitting a 3-2 pitch down the right field line for his leadoff single.
Brett Mason walked in the 1st, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd. A runner on in front of him here to start the 5th. Mason was 1 out of 5 in the 1st game with a couple of runs scored. We love a little 6-4-3 or 4-6-3 double play right here. Nix with a nice pitch, had a little movement on that ball.
He's got one of those kind of deceiving windups where it's kind of herky-jerky, and then here it comes out of a slot because he didn't throw overly hard, but he's got great movement on all of his pitches, and it's really deceptive.
Greg Maddox made a living on not throwing very hard, but putting the ball where he wanted it with the movement. 0-2, Mason down in the count now. Nix not able to close the door on Mitchell after getting up 0-2, looking for a different outcome here against Mason.
I don't know if I've ever seen a pitching staff that could make the ball move more than Maddox and Avery and Glavin and Smoltz.
The 0-2.
That's a defensive
nice
swing.
Job of hitting right there just to stay alive by Mason. Yeah, foul it out of play.
Maddox could make a ball dance like anybody I've ever seen.
What was he? Had a complete game, like an 80-pitch complete game one time. Unreal.
Yeah, against the Cubs, his former team. It was like 77 pitches or something like that. Isn't that right, Sean? I figured you would
on,
know,
Guru.
Sean.
Lifted into right field, right at French. He'll settle under it for the out. Hit it hard, but right at the right fielder, Hunter French. So one out in the books. Here in the top of the fifth, runner still at first. For the Eagles, Bo Gatlin. A couple of strikeouts in this game. Struck out swinging to end the first. Struck out looking to end the third. I've been impressed with that young man in the field, especially. Had a nice first game. Trying to keep him over in this one is Andrew Nix. Go on as Mitchell. Throw sails wide of second out into center field. Mitchell going to try for third, and he'll get there with no problem. Boys, the throw just sort of tailed on Honeycutt, and Hutchinson had no chance right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Chase was just kind of got caught sleeping just a little bit on that. It didn't look like he was very prepared to throw the ball, but
Mitchell didn't have a really great jump. Thought we might have a shot at him.
Right.
But once that throw tailed away, there was no chance. So now with one out, the Eagles have a runner at third. Gatlin with a 1-0 count in his favor. Infield is playing back, obviously up 2-0 for the Bobcats here in the middle. Howard at the edge of the infield grass at third. The 1-0 lifted into right field, and that is down for extra bases. And it's going to be a ground rule double as the ball gets under the fence in the right field corner. So, again, both hits this inning, opposite field shots. Mitchell to lead the inning off. Gatlin there with a rip down the right field line. That probably helped the Bobcats getting out of play because Gatlin was picking them up and putting them down pretty good that he was going to get to third base there with one out. So 2-1 now. Bobcats lead it.
Yeah, Bobcats catch a break there.
Nick's going to have a visit from the Bobcat dugout.
I know one thing, we really appreciate the job that y'all do for us. I mean, with the broadcast and everything, and taking time away from y'all's families to come and talk good about our kids and the things that that they do. And so it's really good for us to have guys like you and of course Sean Wisely, who's been here for Sean, 15 years now, is that about right? 14 years, and also Kevin Maloney, who's in year number 2. So the job that y'all have done for us is just phenomenal. We just want to say we really appreciate what y'all do.
Yeah, I'm just along for the ride. They do the work. I put the headset on and just talk. Cade Keaton comes in as the pitcher, new pitcher for the Bobcats, the freshman out of Brandon High School. So Nix goes a third of an inning, gives up that run, and the runner at second is his responsibility as well. A couple of hard hit balls to the opposite field. Got the Eagles on the scoreboard. Now Keaton in to try to douse the Flames here in the top of the fifth inning. Gatlin with the RBI double. He'll be at second when we get back to play. Keaton was the designated hitter in the first game. So Ridley Thomas will be the Eagle in the batter's box. Thomas out of Northwest Rankin High School. So these two guys have faced each other, I would imagine, in the past.
A lot. That's a neat thing about this state being open and recruiting is, it used to be years ago where, you had the districts and the areas and the protected list and all that. Now the kids get to choose, and I think that's great. I mean, I've never really been a big proponent of telling a kid where they had to go to school at. So them being able to go from, and us, we hit it at a perfect storm, in my opinion, just being able to, we get Community Bank Park right as it's the district lines are dropping. So,
in a way, it seems like that was been forever ago, protected list and including districts.
And we're sitting here talking about it on the air, but I bet there's not a whole lot of people that remember that.
No.
And so
they're thinking, what
are they talking about? And so as years ago, you used to be in your district. So Jones had 8 counties that they could call their own, and kids had to come to Jones to play baseball and other sports. And then a couple of years, right before they ended up just doing away with it altogether, there was a protected list where you had to produce names on a list that people that were guaranteed scholarships at Jones, but no other junior college could recruit. So they had to come to Jones if they wanted to play baseball or softball or football or whatever. So I know that seems like a weird deal, but that's where we were. And I'll say this: I think since we've done it, you've been able to see our state and our region compete nationally year in and year out.
Breaking ball finds the plate. Count now 1-1 on Thomas. I think it was a certain percentage of your roster size. It was it? It wasn't 20% of your roster that you protected, something like that.
I know, like in baseball, softball, we had 10 of our 24.
Okay, so that's
football had 22.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
that pitch right up top part of the zone under the arms of Thomas. Not quite sure he agrees with that call. 1-2 the count now.
I don't know if you remember this, but they had Coahoma had Shelby County, Tennessee.
Yeah. That was big time.
And that was a huge district for them.
And Southwest had a parish over in
Tangipahoa Parish.
The 1-2 pulled inside the third base bag, and that should tie the ball game up over quickly. No throw to home, and going into second, standing up, is Thomas with an RBI double. So we're all tied up. Back-to-back doubles for the Eagles here in the 5th inning. 2-2. 5 hits now for Meridian. Well, he turned on that fastball, and it just got inside the bag. Howard dove for it, but no chance at getting it.
How big was that job by the Meridian pitcher coming in here and closing the door on that inning for the Bobcats?
It had runners at the corners, did the Bobcats.
With nobody out.
Nobody out. And not able to score. Strike out, ground out. So give Ladner credit. He came in and did his job to perfection for the Eagles. Go ahead, run out at second for Meridian. Swings through that fastball, does Easton Rayner. That's a good baseball name, isn't it?
It is.
You think it's any coincidence that he said, his parents said, hey, he's got to be a baseball player.
He got to be a baseball player.
We're going to name him Easton. He's got to be a ball player.
His daddy named him after his favorite bat growing up. That old black magic bat, remember?
Yeah. One out here in the top of the 5th. Got him picked off. Running toward second is Keaton to Ducksworth, back to Howard. You do this all the time with the drills, and they'll go 1 to 6 to 5 to 1 for the putout. So he was bouncing out there, getting a big lead was Thomas, and got out there a little bit too far. So 1 to 6 to 5 to 1. And the bases are empty, and there's 2 outs now. Rayner with an 0-1 count. And that'll aggravate you a little bit as a coach, too. You got a little something going, and there's no chance that you're stealing third, and you're going to score on a ground ball through the infield. But just got that secondary lead too early. Swinging through another fastball. 0-2 now to Rayner. So a chance to get out of the inning with the bases cleared. 0-2 your count. The left-hander. High fastball misses. 1-2 to Rayner. Rainer out of Clarkdale High School. Got a single his first time up. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. So a swinging strike 3 for the third out. But damage was done in that inning. There were 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. Nobody left on base. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th. All tied up at 2 here at the bank. You're watching Bobcat Baseball.
Hattiesburg is the place for the athlete. You pick the goal. We help you get there. Join a team, not a gym. D1 of Hattiesburg, 4600 Hardy Street. DBAT of Hattiesburg is the premier baseball and softball training facility. Come by and see what we have to offer at DBAT of Hattiesburg, 4600 Hardy Street.
The Eagles push 2 across in the top of the 5th. A single and a back-to-back doubles to tie this one up at 2 apiece. 2-5-2 for the Eagles, 2-2-1 for the Bobcats. The left-hander Lane Ladner, after a good inning of work back in the bottom of the 4th, back on the heel for the Eagles. Due up for Jones, Chase Honeycutt, Andrew Howard, and Murray Hutchinson. Honeycutt, a strikeout victim, his only at bat so far tonight in this second game, back in the 3rd inning. Young man out of DeSoto Central does not get cheated on his cuts. Off the fist to third base, fielded by Luke, comes up and throws high, and Honeycutt able to reach on the 3rd error of the game for Meridian. I mean, Luke took a little too nonchalant approach to it, fielded cleanly, had plenty of time, and just sailed it.
He did, no doubt about it. I mean, and there's really no reason for him to rush because, you know, Honeycutt doesn't run great down the line, so he had plenty of time. But maybe that's a break of Bobcats need.
Air mailed it across there. Sometimes you take your time and it just sails on you. Whatever the case, E5 allows Honeycutt to reach. It was that E5 back in the 2nd inning that allowed Ducksworth to reach. And Ducksworth eventually came around to score the first run of the ball game. In at the corner is Luke, anticipating a sacrifice attempt here. Howard takes the pitch high. You know, in softball, your infielders in so close anyway. I tell you what, it just scares the fire out of me. But like this, you think sacrifice bunt, that third baseman comes in. If you pull back and just hammer at it, that's about the way it is every pitch for you softball. Nice bunt out to the pitcher. That will do the job. So sacrifice by Howard, advances Honeycutt to second.
You know, and that's part of the game that is going away in baseball. Is the short game, the sacrifice bunt stuff. I mean, just that we still on the softball side play, you know, and, you know, you're up 2-0 first and third, nobody out. There's a great chance you may see a squeeze on our side just because
you got to manufacture some
right.
runs,
There's not a whole lot of scoring opportunities that we have.
Top of the order up, Murray Hutchinson. Popped out in foul territory to the third baseman to start the game. Single back in the 3rd inning, got caught stealing to end that inning. Looks at ball 1, has an RBI opportunity there as Honeycutt out at second base after the sacrifice bunt from Andrew Howard. Honeycutt reached on a throwing error by the third baseman. Breaking ball stays high for 2-0.
He's fussing about that call, but that ball's clearly up.
Now, if I'm standing in the batter's box, that's a strike.
That's a strike if you are.
I'm 6'7".
Yeah,
Hutchinson, what, maybe 5'10", 5'11"?
Maybe.
Ladner got out of a jam in the fourth inning. A little bit of a jam here. Good take right there. That wasn't a bad pitch.
You're right, partner. That was a very good breaking pitch that Hutchinson just held off on.
Driver's seat in a 3-0 count. You would expect Ladner to stay with that breaking ball. He's gone 99% breaking ball. Well, missed high with a fastball. Nobody really hurt, I don't guess. You had first base open. So now first and second with one out. Double play in play now for Booth. Booth, first time to face Ladner. Bloop double down the left field line. His last at bat grounded out to second back in the first inning. Came around to score after that double in the fourth. Now a chance to maybe push the Bobcats ahead here in the bottom of the fifth. 2-2 your score. Breaking ball misses outside.
Well, DJ's got some active hands, doesn't he, in that box? Kind of remind, not as much, but kind of reminds me of a Gary Sheffield, who was very, very active. Barry Bonds, was very active with his hands.
Coaching visit from Coach Sudduth for the Eagles. Well, just trying to regroup, refocus Ladner. I'd be one of the most surprised people in the stands in the bank tonight if there's a pitching change, because he has been effective. Just wandered a little bit. Unfortunate. Honeycutt for Meridian, Honeycutt reached by an error, but got the sacrifice bunt, but then a 4-pitch walk to Hutchinson. And now missed with that first pitch to Booth. So 5 straight pitches out of the zone. Coach Sudduth, a quick visit to the mound. As Ladner has runners at first and second. One out here in the bottom of the fifth. Booth trying to put the Bobcats ahead. 1-0 fastball right down the pipe. That might have been a surprise. See fastball
really, because he's
after
been
seeing so many breaking
right.
pitches. 1-1 the count now on Booth. See if he goes back breaking ball. He's been so good with that breaking pitch. And he does come back with it. Misses. Runner going to third. Ball gets away, and that should get the run in. Boy, give Honeycutt credit. It wasn't a delayed steal, but he had such a great lead. It looked like a double steal because down to second goes Hutchinson. Throw off the mark, and Luke not able to handle it.
I think he caught, read the ball down into the dirt, saw it kind of, his momentum was already taking him toward third, and he got away from the catcher, and he just kept going. I think it caught Luke at third base off guard, and when the catcher got ready to throw it, Luke wasn't there. And so it was an easy stolen base, and unfortunately it goes E2, but it's really E5 because if Luke was there, then obviously Honeycutt's out.
Yeah. So the fourth error of the game on Meridian. 3-1 count to Booth. And he'll miss out wide. I was going by. That's what I had on my chart, but I was trusting our scoreboard operator because I'd missed a call earlier. Now it's 3-1.
Well, he's got 4 balls up there, so.
4-1. Never seen that. A 4-1 pitch. The 3-1 pitch on the outside corner runs the count full. Booth knew what the count was. He didn't take off to first base.
Sound like Bob Uecker. He said, 1 pitch.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not doubting Kevin Maloney. Staying alive on a tough breaking ball. Booth fouls it into the Bobcat dugout area. Count stays full. Hutchinson goes back to second. Bobcats regain the lead here in the bottom of the fifth, looking to add more to it, 3-2. Runner out at second with one out. You got to think breaking ball right here. And it is, but outside. So now Booth will go down to first base. Back-to-back walks. Hutchinson reached on a walk, went to second on the steal, double steal. And that will be all for Ladner as Coach Sutter heads back out to the mound. We'll take a break with them, have that new pitcher for you when we come back. This is Bobcat Baseball.
I lost my mind in the city of night, and the best street burns in the neon light. When I heard the thunder, I could feel the rain. It's the same to me, just different name. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no God for my streets in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Into the jungle.
What are we doing up here? I can't believe what you got me into.
We're doing a catering job, Mr. Dickey. We do what we gotta do.
The sky's the limit when it comes to Dickey's Catering. We smoke our barbecue with real hickory wood, low and slow, at every location, every day.
Box lunches, delivery buffet, and our full-service buffets are sure to get the job done.
Try the pulled pork street tacos. They're great. Since 1941, our family at Dickey's has been serving your family. Dickey's, we speak barbecue.
New pitcher for the Eagles, Reed Blakely. He's a right-handed freshman, 6'3", 180, out of Brandon High School. Will come on in relief of Lane Ladner. Inherit a couple of runners. First and second for the Bobcats, a 3-2 Jones lead. Ladner was effective back in the fourth inning. He'll go 1 1/3 innings. As those base runners in the form of Murray Hutchinson and DJ Booth are his responsibility. Hunter French, the right fielder, walked in his only plate appearance back in the fourth inning. A chance to do some damage here in a 3-2 ball game. French out of DeSoto Central said the reverse transfer from Mississippi State. Swinging on the first pitch, high fly ball, foul territory wide of third. And Luke settles under it to make the catch for the second out.
It's a big out there.
Ducksworth, opportunity to get a big two-out hit here. Don't want to leave those runners stranded. Ducksworth reached on a couple of errors. Reached on back in the second and scored. And reached on an error back in the fourth. As a run scored as the ball got underneath the glove of Thomas. That breaking ball, I don't know how that didn't hit him, boy.
Me either. I think he was prepared for it, too, didn't he?
He was ready to be hit. You know it's coming. You just brace yourself, going to get a free base.
I mean, he tensed up and everything. You could tell.
But that
just
ball
missed him.
somehow broke inside. Ball one. Missed the plate and Ducksworth. Fast ball. 2-0.
And that would look like he probably caught the outer third, but
what do we know?
nothing.
Thank you. I know Sonic would have been good. Somebody brought 2-0. Dripped up the middle. Diving attempt, not able to get it. Great effort from Gatlin. But that does allow a run to score. And scrambling back to second is Booth. I tell you, a slow floating line drive out beyond second, and Gatlin gave the effort and had it in his glove until he hit the ground, and it bounced out into shallow center. And a big 2-out hit right there by Ducksworth.
Nice job by Ducksworth. I tell you what, we've got to either tie Booth's shoelaces or grab that, dirt monster or whatever it is that's tripping him up, because he was going to be standing at third, no problem, but he fell again.
He may need some longer spikes. So runners still at first and second as Hutchinson was able to score to extend the Bobcat lead back by 2 runs, 4-2. So we said we needed a 2-out hit, and that's just what Ducksworth did. Fought it off just enough to push it out beyond second base. Swing and a miss by LeBlanc. 1-1 the count. Hunter, strikeout victims, his both at bats in this game in the second and fourth inning. Trying to change his stat line with another opportunity here for a 2-out hit and an RBI. Booth able to get back. Sneaking behind him was Gatlin. LeBlanc out of Hanville High School in Louisiana. And a 1-1 count. Blakely swinging through that nice pitch was LeBlanc to fall behind in the count 1-2. Sean Wansley, Chris Robinson up in the booth with me. The Bobcats trying to earn the split today. Lost a 12-inning affair in the first game, 11-10. That ball got away from the catcher just enough for both runners to advance. Nearly hit LeBlanc.
I don't know how it didn't.
That's the second time we said it. The last time we said it, Ducksworth got a hit after we said it.
There we go.
So let's see if it's going to be a little mojo in our favor here. Runners now at second and third, with Booth advancing to third and Ducksworth going to second. So a 2-out hit would be huge right here for LeBlanc. He was 1 for 5 in the first game. Pushes one toward third. Nice play by Luke. Comes up throwing. Boy, got robbed a little bit, did LeBlanc there. Good play by the big man at third base. Saves 1, if not 2 runs. LeBlanc out on the 5-3 putout for the third out of this inning. Bobcats do push 2 across, though. A couple of walks hurt, or at least one of them hurt the Eagles. 2 runs on 1 hit. There were 2 errors, I think, a throwing error and a fielding error. 2 men left on base. We've played 5 complete. 4-2 Jones leads it. Back after this, you're watching Bobcat Baseball.
Bancorp South wants to know.
Where do I feel most at home? Experimenting in the kitchen.
Exploring my walk-in closet.
My man cave on game day.
I feel most at home in my 100-year-old farmhouse.
It's just the best place in the whole world.
Tell us where you want to be, with mortgage solutions and home improvement loans to help you build a little more personal space.
She spends all her time in front of the bathroom mirror.
Making you feel at home. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
The Bobcats regain the lead 4-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll move to the 6th. Cade Keaton on as he came on in relief to get the final 2 outs of the 5th inning. catcher, Aiden Johnson, 9-hole hitter, will step into the batter's box for the Eagles. Walked his both plate appearances. He'll take a ball high. A 4-pitch walk in the second, and then it worked a full count in the fourth before he drew that walk. He's ahead in the count 2-0. Aiden must have some kind of repellent on to keep the ball out of the strike zone. 10 of 12 pitches have been balls to him. Oh, good cut at that one, but fouled out of play. 2-1 you count. Cade brings it in a pretty good himself.
He does. He does. It's got some giddy up on it.
The Brandon High grad. The 2-1 pitch. This is up with that pitch, 3-1. Now, after you work to get the lead back, it's so important to get that leadoff guy out in the next inning.
It's very, very important. I mean, your offense just spotted you a 2-spot. It's time to come out here and fill the zone up. And that right there will drive you nuts as a coach.
5-pitch walk, Johnson. 0 for 0 on the day. 3 walks. No official at bats. That'll bring the top of the order up. Banks Tolley. Strikeout in the first, single in the second, walk in the fourth. Chance to do some damage after the leadoff walk by Keaton. That breaking ball stays up. Activity in the Bobcat bullpen as we're in the top of the 6th in a 4-2 game. Jones on top. The 1-0 in there for a called strike. Bobcat scored 1 in the bottom of the second, 1 in the bottom of the fourth, and 2 in the bottom of the fifth. Meridian tied it up momentarily with 2 in the top of the fifth.
Can't get us a ground ball, hit it at T-Duck right here at short for a double play.
Checking his swing, holding up on that breaking pitch was Tolley, so now it's 2-1. Wasn't a bad pitch, just a good take there from the leadoff man. This is the pitch you want to make it happen here. You don't want to fall behind 3-1 to a good hitter. Bringing a fastball just off the plate inside.
It did miss. It was a little in.
I get some woos from the crowd, but woos never made a ball and strike call, have they? 3-1 now.
Oh, they got all the answers on this side of the net.
Yeah, we do. Big pitch here. Throw over to first back in time is Johnson. The Bobcats scored their 2 runs on 1 hit. Had a couple walks, pass ball, an error. A couple of errors in the bottom of the 5th. Whew, nearly hitting him. High and tight. It's going to be a ball 4 either way. Whether you hit him or not, he's on base. So now, back-to-back walks to start the top of the 6th.
It's going to bring up the 2-hole hitter.
Adam Moncour walked his last time. He's 0 for 1 in this game. A couple of walks. Had a fly out to right field back in the second. So Honeycutt pays a visit to Keaton, trying to settle him down.
Really frustrating. You come out and you walk the 9-hole hitter to start the inning, and then back-to-back walks. And now you got to go through 2, 3, 4 with runners in scoring position and nobody out. That's a tough mountain to climb. You know, if you're Keaton. So
you think what we've done this whole game, though, other than 1 inning, we've dodged bullets. In the third was the only one that was sort of cleanly played. They had 1 hit by batter, but no damage done. But first, second, fourth, fifth, we didn't dodge the bullets. They scored a couple, looking to bunt the runners over, but foul on that bunt attempt. Moncour behind the count 0-1. So we've been dodging fire and playing with fire, dodging bullets all game.
You know, if the Bobcats can hang on to win this game, if you're both coaching staffs, you're probably thinking you lost the game that you should have won.
Yeah.
You know, you think about the 6th spot that Meridian put up, you know, and what, 2 were earned, I think.
Yeah,
1 was earned.
Well, 3 in the game. 3 of the 11
3,
were earned.
yeah. You know, and then right now Meridian's committed 4 errors in this game, and we're up 4-2. So.
And they've left a ton of people
on base.
on
And they've
base.
left a ton of people on base. You're right. So if Bobcats can hang on to win this one, then you got to feel like you won the one you shouldn't have. But, oh, boy, you could have actually swept. You know, both schools could probably sit there and say that. Boy, we could have easily walked out here with a sweep.
0-1 the count on Moncure. Looking to bunt again, pops it out of play. So he's behind in the count, 0-2. We saw earlier in the first game that trying to make sacrifice attempts, Caleb Dice not able to do that. And then he had a deep fly ball to center field. You'd love a double play ball or a strikeout right here. Double play would be better. But anything to keep the runners from advancing. The 0-2 to Moncure. Sacrifice is off.
That was a
Checking
tough
his swing. I'm not sure where that ball was, but a little outside, I guess, 1-2.
That was a great pitch by Keaton and a really tough pitch from Moncure to lay off of.
So we'll do it again here. 1-2 the count now with no outs, runners at first and second in a 4-2 game. See some frustration on Keaton's face out there.
And that's something you can't do. I know it's frustrating. You think you throw a strike, but you know you don't let your emotions get to you right here.
And I don't know if that may be Cade's mother, but whoever it is walking over behind home plate to see where those pitches are right now, because she walked by us with her hands out like, where is it? 2-2. Mansour wasn't quite convinced that wasn't strike 3. But after getting ahead 0-2, missing with 3 close pitches, the count now full. That was definitely a Bobcat fan. If I'm a betting man, I'm betting his mother.
That's Keaton and Mama.
She's walked off in frustration now as well. 3-2, no outs, runners at first and second. Keaton will look the runner back to second. That's the 9-hole hitter that walked to start the inning, Andon Johnson at second. Leadoff man Banks Tolley at first, who also walked. Now the 3-2 payoff pitch fouled back out of play. So we'll do it again.
That was a big cut there.
Bobcats in the first inning walked the bases full, got out of it with no damage. In the 4th inning, walked the bases full, got out with no damage. I see a pattern developing here.
I hope we can get out of it with no damage again.
See if Keaton will be able to seal the deal on Adam Moncure. The 3-2. Lined into right field. That may get a run home. They're holding him up with no outs, though, and that's probably the right call, as French got it back in quickly. So, Moncure's first hit of the day. Doesn't drive a run in, but it loads the bases with no outs. And Braden Luke walked first inning, struck out swinging in the 3rd, struck out looking to end the 4th. A dangerous hitter. And that may be all for Cade Keaton as the slow walk from the Bobcat dugout is taken by head coach Chris Kirkland. The bullpen is ready, just waiting on the signal. And we will make that pitching change. I've said it 3 times. I saw Coach raise his hand. I tell you what, hey, COVID, man.
That's right.
Opening game, Bobcats. We'll have a new pitcher. We'll be back right after this and let you know who that is. You're watching Bobcat Baseball.
More than 75 years, Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Delicious meats, pit smoked, low and slow, on site, every day, every location. Because some things never change. And some things do. Dickey's introduces an expanded menu which includes butcher tacos, your favorite slow-smoked barbecue meats, and a warm flour tortilla. Barbecue sliders, snackably sized barbecue awesomeness on our famous buttery rolls. Smokestacks, smoking good meats, and savory sides in a single serving bowl. Our specialty Westerners, offered with new combinations of meats and toppings. Don't worry, don't fret, we didn't forget your favorites. Our classic sandwiches and plates featuring meats and 2 sides, which the Dickey's family has been serving for 3 generations.
Since 1941, our family at Dickey's has been serving your family.
Old school flavor, new school twist. Dickey's, we speak barbecue.
New pitcher for the Bobcats is the left-hander, freshman out of the Iberville High School, Kobe Toubre. Toubre pitched 1 inning in the first game, gave up 1 hit, did not allow a run. And to say he is inheriting a jam would be the understatement of the year. Bases loaded, no outs. All Eagles have reached this inning by way of the walk, except for Mr. Moncour that got his first hit of the day. We walked the bases full in the first inning, didn't give up a run. Walked them full in the 4th inning, didn't give up a run. First 2 batters in this inning walked, and then Moncour with an opposite field single. Not deep enough to get the runners in, so bases loaded, nobody out. Lefty on lefty matchup here, Braden Luke. He made a nice play to end the last inning to save a run, if not 2 from scoring. He's at the plate with the bases juiced and nobody out. Toubre with the delivery. Outside corner, strike 1.
Boy, what a good pitch. That thing was spotted outer half at the knees.
If you can keep it there,
he's going to win this battle.
He'll win it. Luke steps back in. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball right up the middle. Could be 2. Toss to Ducksworth. Turn, flip. Quick throw in time. Boy, that was a nice play right there.
Yeah.
Number 1 by Hutchinson to get the stop behind, make the snag behind the bag, and then the short toss to Ducksworth. And where he received the throw, he had to make an awkward pivot, but did it nicely.
Yeah, good turn by Ducksworth, too, to turn and be able to throw a strike over to the first baseman and get the double play. And that's what you needed in that situation is a ground ball. And Toubre got that, was able to turn a double play and only give up 1 run. Now you're a pitch from getting out of it still with the lead, and it was bases loaded, nobody out.
Mitchell takes ball 1. So the 4-6-3 double play. Scoring on the play was Johnson. A good fastball. Mitchell not able to catch up with that high heater. Evens the count up at 1-1.
Got the umpire in the chest on that foul ball. So Honeycutt's going to walk out there and talk to Toubre, make sure the umpire's okay before we come back. And
then as Honeycutt comes back and say, hey, you remember that.
Yeah, you remember that here in just a second when we throw one an inch off the plate. I expect to get that call.
Or that one on that outside corner that you didn't call a while ago.
Right.
So, you think about it. If Moncour's called out on strikes, they hit that ground ball way out of the inning.
Out of the inning.
But if and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Trying to get out with a 1-run lead now. Toubre driven. Should get the runner in. That's going to be a right gap shot. 1 hop the fence. Mitchell gets into second, and we're tied up again at 4 as Mitchell gets the RBI double. Again, those walks, they have a way of coming back to bite you. And that's the case right there as Tolley scores from third. Brett Mason, a walk, fielder's choice, and a deep fly out to right field here in this game. Go-ahead run out at second in the form of John Mitchell for the Eagles. His second hit of the game. He's 2 for 3 in this game. Got hit by a pitch back in the third. Toubre, a nice breaking ball, called strike 1. The hometown boy, John Mitchell, comes through for the Eagles with the game-tying RBI double. Now he represents that go-ahead run here in the top of the 6th. Pitch misses outside, evening up the count at 1-1. Played with fire one too many times in that inning.
And you knew eventually you get the bases loaded, nobody out. They've had this the third time having it. Eventually they were going to find a way to score, and you almost get out of it with a double play ground ball. And Mitchell just did a good job of taking a pitch away to the right center field gap to tie the game.
That breaking pitch in for a call, strike 2. Now Mason behind in the count 1-2. Toubre trying to limit the damage right now. He inherited a mess, got a ground ball double play that scored a run. Then the 2-out double tied it up. Toubre brought the heat just a little too far outside. Count even at 2-2. Bobcat defense trying to make a play right here to end this inning. Swing and a miss as Mason goes down swinging to end the inning, but damage was done as 2 runs came across for the Eagles. 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors. There's 1 man left on base. Bobcats and Eagles all tied up at 4 going into the bottom of the 6th in a 7-inning game. You're watching Bobcat baseball.
In the city of night, and the band street bangs in the neon light. When I heard the thunder, I could feel the rain. It's the same to me, just different name.
Moving to the bottom of the 6th, 4-4 is your score as the Eagles push 2 more across there after the Bobcats walk the bases full. A double play ground ball got a run in. And then the runner at third scored on an opposite field double by John Mitchell to tie it up. Reed Blakely back on the mound for the Eagles. He came on to get the last 2 outs of the 5th inning. He'll face the 6, 7, and 8 batters for the Bobcats. Colson Harris, a couple of strikeouts. I'm sure Colson's glad to see Ladner out of there. And he'll first pitch swing, pull 1 foul wide of third. Bobcats led 1-0 after 2, 2-0 after 4, 4-2 after 5. Good take from Colson. 1-1 the count. So let's keep the pattern going. Let's lead after the 6th.
Let's keep it rolling.
Never trailed in the game. 2 runs by the Eagles in the top of the 5th tied it up, but Bobcats answered right back. And the Eagles have answered in the top of the 6th to tie it up again. As that pitch misses high. 2-1 now to Harris. Colson hit the ball hard in the first game. As I said, a couple of strikeouts in this game. He's ahead in the count 3-1 now. Want base runners, though. Hey, get some base runners, see what damage you can do.
I mean, you get the leadoff guy on. How many times in baseball does he come around and score? In softball world, he comes around and scores a lot.
We talked about that with the Bobcats in the last inning. You come back and take that 2-run lead, and then
right.
you walk the leadoff man. And they've just walked the leadoff man. So Harris trots down to first base. as Jesse Johnson hit a high chopper to the first baseman to end the fourth inning in his only official at bat. He was at the plate when, I'll take it back, he made the last out of the second inning. So he's 0 for 2. Harris crawls back to first base on a soft toss over to first base from Blakely.
If I'm a betting man, that ain't going to be the last time he's going to do this.
Johnson swings away. No sacrifice shown on that high pitch.
Well, and he's thrown
5
out of 6 have been nowhere near the zone, so you may want to just give Johnson the green light for one. Give him one strike, and if he don't do anything with it, then break out your sacrifice to get the runner moved over.
Blakely, the freshman out of Brandon High School, misses outside, 2-0.
There he goes, 6 out of 7. So again, he's got a big time hitter's count right here, and just pick a half of the plate and focus on it, and let's see if we could drill one down in the gap somewhere.
Chase Honeycutt on deck for the Bobcats. The 2-0 going it, lifted high into right field. Coming in is Mitchell, making the catch just inside the foul fair line. So Johnson is retired on the high fly ball.
It's like we may have a pitching change. I figure I'll go ahead and say it for you.
Hey, make sure I get it right. I'm down here ciphering on my stat line, trying to score this game. So, Blakely's night is done. There is a pitching change. We'll take a break with them, let you know who the new guy is. It looks like it's going to be somebody that's already on the field. Bobcats and Eagles all tied up at 4. Back after this. This is Bobcat Baseball.
More than 75 years, Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Delicious meats, pit smoked, low and slow, on site, every day, every location. Because some things never change, and some things do. Dickey's introduces an expanded menu which includes butcher tacos, your favorite slow smoked barbecue meats, and a warm flour tortilla. Barbecue sliders, snackably sized barbecue awesomeness on our famous buttery rolls. Smoke stacks, smoking good meats, and savory sides in a single serving bowl. Our specialty Westerners, offered with new combinations of meat and toppings. Don't worry, don't fret, we didn't forget your favorites. Our classic sandwiches and plates featuring meats and 2 sides, which the Dickey's family has been serving for 3 generations.
Since 1941, our family at Dickey's has been serving your family.
Old school flavor, new school twist. Dickey's, we speak barbecue. More than 75 years, Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Delicious meats, pit smoked, low and slow, on site, every day, every location. Because some things never change, and some things do. Dickey's introduces an expanded menu which includes butcher tacos, your favorite slow smoked barbecue meats, and a warm flour tortilla. Barbecue sliders, snackably sized barbecue awesomeness on our famous buttery rolls. Smoke stacks, smoking good meats, and savory sides in a single serving bowl. Our specialty Westerners, offered with new combinations of meats and toppings. Don't worry, don't fret, we didn't forget your favorites. Our classic sandwiches and plates featuring meats and 2 sides, which the Dickey's family has been serving for 3 generations.
Since 1941, our family at Dickey's has been serving your family.
Old school flavor, new school twist. Dickey's, we speak barbecue.
New pitcher for the Eagles is the first baseman, Brett Mason. 6-footer out of West Lauderdale High School. Coming in to play first base is Jack Perry, who pitched in relief in the first game. He's the freshman out of Starkville High School. Mason comes to the mound with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Colson Harris on first base for the Bobcats. Harris reached by way of the walk to start this inning. Jesse Johnson on a 2-0 pitch hit a high fly ball to shallow right field. So Harris not able to advance. Pinch hitter for the Bobcats is Brady Spring, freshman out of Brookhaven Academy. He's into the batter's box for Chase Honeycutt. So Brady Springs' first plate appearance here in the early part of this season, opening day. Toss over to first and Harris back. So the left-hander, good size young'un, steps into the batter's box. Fastball misses outside. Bobcats and the Eagles all tied up at 4 here in the bottom of the 6th. A scheduled 7-inning game. We went extras, 12 innings in the first one. An 11-10 Meridian win. Swinging through a good fastball is Spring. Evens up the count 1-1. Didn't get cheated on the cut. That fastball, a good one from Mason. 1-1, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Runner on first. Breaking ball lifted foul into the Eagle bullpen. I'd be surprised if I didn't see that good fastball right here on a 1-2 count. I'm playing pitching coach.
Maybe something up in the zone.
Mason not wasting any time right here. Breaking ball, fouled back out of play. Got us both fooled. Didn't catch up with the fastball early in the count. 3 breaking balls since then. One and 2 to Spring. Fastball swinging a miss. Ball gets away. Harris is able to get to second base, so that's the silver lining in that sequence. But there's 2 outs now as Andrew Howard will be at the plate for the Bobcats.
Good job there by Harris, reading that ball in the dirt, getting away from the catcher, moving up for a big extra base attempt, or moving up attempt there. Maybe we can bleed something through and let him score.
Go ahead run at second base in the form of Colson Harris. 9-hole hitter, Andrew Howard. Fly ball to center field, back in the 3rd. A sacrifice bunt back in the 5th, so officially 0 for 1 in this game. Mason, breaking ball pulled to third base, wide of the bag. So Howard will retreat with an 0-1 count now. Mason coming on in relief with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th, trying to get out of the inning with no damage done. Harris at second base with the go-ahead run. 2 outs. That one short hopped the catcher Johnson. So again, advancing on the wild pitch is Harris over to third. Now let's get one past him.
There we go.
Stop.
We'll take it.
You know, our first run of this game was manufactured that way as Ducksworth came around after reaching on an error. Wild pitch, ball, wild pitch. Breaking ball driven in the right field, right at Mitchell, though. A high hanging fly ball. And no damage done as Howard flies out to end the inning. We'll move to the 7th. No runs on no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. Tied at 4. Moving to the 7th. This is Bobcat Baseball.
DBAT of Hattiesburg is the premier baseball and softball training facility. Come by and see what we have to offer at D-Bat of Hattiesburg, 4600 Hardy Street. Hattiesburg is the place for the athlete. You pick the goal. We help you get there. Join a team, not a gym. D1 of Hattiesburg, 4600 Hardy Street.
In catching now for the Bobcats in the top of the seventh is Cade Shannon. Shannon, the redshirt freshman out of Oak Grove High School. Started the first game behind the plate before Chase Honeycutt came in as a pinch hitter and then stayed in defensively. So he'll come in relief of Honeycutt behind the plate in this second game. Kobe Toubre back on the mound for the Bobcats. Due up for Meridian, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Bo Gatlin, the shortstop. Had an RBI double back in the 5th inning after a couple of strikeouts in his first 2 plate appearances. Toubre. Let's see, I guess he went 2/3 of an inning. No, I'll take it back. He went the whole inning. He got all 3 out. So he's in his second inning of work. That foul. Ball is fouled back out of play. Pitch a little bit low, evening up the count at 1-1. Two runs in the 5th, 2 in the 6th for Meridian. 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th for the Bobcats. Tied up at 4 apiece here in the 7th. 2-1 now. Count in favor of Gatlin. Toubre with the 2-1 pitch. Hits Gatlin. So the leadoff batter on here in the 7th inning as Bridley Thomas had an RBI double back in the 5th after he had struck out his first 2 at-bats. So a pattern there for Gatlin. 2 strikeouts, a double, hit by pitch. Thomas, 2 strikeouts and a double. And the slow walk from the Bobcat dugout by head coach Chris Kirtland. That usually means a pitching change. We'll wait for it to happen officially. And that looks to be the case as Shannon has already patted Toubre on the backside like tough luck, good job. Home plate umpire walking out to the mound now to break up this meeting. And the pitching change will be made. We'll take a break as well. Meridian and Jones all tied up at 4 here in the top of the 7th. You're watching Bobcat Baseball.
Bancorp South wants to know.
Where do I feel most at home? Experimenting in the kitchen.
Exploring my walk-in closet.
My man cave on game day.
I feel most at home in my 100-year-old farmhouse.
It's just the best place in the whole world.
Tell us where you want to be with mortgage solutions and home improvement loans to help you build a little more personal space.
She spends all her time in front of the bathroom mirror.
Making you feel at home. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
The new pitcher for the Bobcats is Wyatt Blaylock. Blaylock, redshirt freshman out of Madison Central High School, inherits a runner at first base after Bo Gatlin was hit by a pitch on a 2-1 pitch. Ridley Thomas will be the batter for the Eagles that Blaylock faces. His last at bat, a RBI double in the 5th inning. Not only do I get heckled by you guys, Teresa Welch heckling via the text. I will not acknowledge her other than just what I said. And I'll hear about it tomorrow.
Yep. I'll acknowledge you, Teresa.
I'll cut your mic off, too.
There you go.
Chris Robinson and Sean Wansley.
You know, a lot of people, Mark, it was really worried that this day would never come.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how excited I know all these guys are, and we were yesterday, you know, being able to go out and play, and it's a great time right now. Spring's in the air, and really on our campus, when you think of basketball going and tennis and soccer's going to be in the spring this year, there's just a lot of excitement on campus right now.
The guys to our right are going to be pretty busy, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Show and bunt, pulling back, taking ball 1 is Thomas.
Yeah, Sean and Kevin and his crew, they're going to be so busy this spring.
In at the corners, Bobcat defenders now bouncing it towards second. And that's going to be a force out or a put out at first as Hutchinson able to snag it. Just like a sacrifice bunt as Thomas grounds out 4-3 for the first out. Gatlin moves over to second. He's the go-ahead run for the Eagles here in the top of the 7th. We got a pinch hitter here. Is that number 9? Well, he just came in the DH spot. He's batting now. That's
first baseman
Jack Perry. He's hitting in the DH spot.
Freshman out of Starkville High School.
He pitched. He went 1 2/3 inning in relief in the first game. Chance to drive in the go-ahead run there at second. That pitch misses just low from Blaylock. So the 1-0 pitch to Perry. Call strike. Nice breaking ball on the outside corner. Count even now at 1-1. Blaylock trying to hold the Eagles at bay in a tie ball game here in the 7th inning. Swing and a miss, but the ball gets through the wickets of Shannon. And now the go-ahead run 90 feet away, but 1-2, so you really need the strikeout here if you are Wyatt Blaylock.
Yeah, now the infield's got to come in, and anything hit on the ground, you're probably going to have a down ball, attempt on that runner from third, so they're going to break as soon as the ball's hit, especially if they see it going towards the ground. So good
nice pitch,
job.
Strikeout. That was an unhittable pitch right there, and just about threw it over the head of Blaylock, getting it back out. Good thing our infield was in, as Hutchinson and Ducksworth were able to back up the throw, even though Blaylock was able to jump up and catch it. So a big strikeout of Perry for the second out. Now, Aiden Johnson, the catcher. Infield moves back to normal depth. Pitch stays up and in for ball one. Johnson, officially no at-bats, has walked 3 times in this game. Pitch low. Johnson ahead 2-0. He's been in familiar territory already with ahead of the count. You would say Johnson has a great eye, but we hadn't been close with some of those pitches back earlier in the game. Blaylock just missing with those two. Behind the count 2-0. Throws that one, taking a hack at it as Johnson, fouling it out of play. So 2-1 the count now. Again, the go-ahead run in the form of Bo Gatlin at third base for the Eagles. The 2-1. Lowe gets away, can't find it, and here comes the run to score. It didn't get past Shannon, but it bounced away enough he couldn't find it. So Gatlin scores. We talked about that leadoff man getting on, hit by a pitch. He works his way around the bases and scores on a wild pitch. And the Eagles have a 5-4 lead here in the 7th inning. A 7-inning game is what this one is scheduled to be. Bobcats have got to get out of this top half and get a run or two in the second. Another walk. 4 walks on the day for Johnson. He scored back in the 6th inning. And now he's on first with 2 outs. And the top of the order up, Banks Tolley. Struck out in the first, singled in the second, walked in the 4th and the 6th, and scored in the 6th. He was part of that first 2 batters that walked to start that inning. And he'll take ball one. So Blaylock came in, got the first 2 batters he faced out. But then the wild pitch scored Gatlin. And then ended up walking Johnson, who's on first now. And a 1-0 count to Tolley. Blaylock stretches, throws, breaking ball. Stays out of the zone, so 2-0 to Tolley. So the Eagles have battled back after being down 2-0 to tie it in the 5th inning. Bobcats regained the lead 4-2. Call strike. The Eagles came back and tied it up in the top of the 6th. And now taking the lead with 1 across in the 7th. Count 2-1 on Tolley. Missing inside, 3-1. Bobcats. Swinging strike 2. 9 walks in the game so far by Bobcat pitching. And 2 hit batters. So 11 free rides. And you're down 5-4 in a 7-inning game. Stepping off, Blaylock will regroup for this full count pitch. Dodged numerous bullets early on, but hadn't been able to do that here in the last 3 innings. Through 4 innings, the Eagles stranded 9 runners. Through the last 2+ innings, only 1 runner stranded. Going is Johnson, swinging and missing. That's the 3rd out. as Tolley will strike out to end the inning. But the Eagles regain the lead with 1 run on 0 hits, no errors. There was 1 man left on base. Do or die time for the Bobcats. Down 1 going into the bottom of the 7th inning. Got to come up with a run to stay, 2 to win it. You're watching Bobcat Baseball.
Hattiesburg is the place for the athlete. You pick the goal. We help you get there. Join a team, not a gym. D1 of Hattiesburg, 4600 Hardy Street. D-Bat of Hattiesburg is the premier baseball and softball training facility. Come by and see what we have to offer at D-Bat of Hattiesburg, 4600 Hardy Street.
We'll move to the bottom of the 7th. Meridian with a 5-4 lead. They're 3 outs away from a sweep here at the bank. Won the opening game today 11, 10, and 12 innings. The Bobcats led 2-0. Tied it up, did Meridian in the top of the 5th. Bobcats answered back, led 4-2 going into the 6th. 2 runs across to tie it up for Meridian. And then they pushed 1 across in the top of the 7th to lead 5-4. That run came by way of a hit batter. And a couple of wild pitches got him in. The Bobcats with the top of the order up. That's the part of the order you want. Trying to answer back here to get the sweep. Got to have 1 to tie it, 2 to win it. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Murray Hutchinson, 1 for 2 on the day. Walked his last time and scored back in the 5th inning. Takes a call strike. As Brett Mason trying to get the win here for Meridian in relief. Nice breaking ball, call strike 2. That was a good pitch right there.
It was.
Mason, the freshman out of West Lauderdale High School.
Good baseball program.
A lot of history and tradition there. Missing low with that breaking ball. 1-2 the count. Head coach Jerry Boatner there for so many years before he retired. Delta State alumni as well was Boatner. The 1-2 to Hutchinson. Breaking ball hit out to second. Coming in, fielding cleanly, throwing, and getting Hutchinson out on the 4-3 put out. That first out is huge, as we said. After you take the lead, now Booth had a bloop double to left field back in the 4th, walked in the 5th, grounded out to second in the 1st. So 1 for 2 on the day. He scored a run back in the 4th. Was left stranded back in the 5th inning. Looks at a call. Strike 1 on a breaking pitch from Mason.
That's a borderline pitch.
You're saying it may be, hey, I'm ready to get out of here.
Yeah, that may be, I'm ready to get out of here.
Fastball misses low and away.
DJ didn't like that first one, but, you know, when they've been out here for now 7.5 hours, them old boys may be ready to go home.
DJ, freshman out of Oak Grove, trying to get on base, nearly hitting Booth with that inside pitch. Count now 2-1.
And that's a situation where you may want to lean into that one because it is a breaking pitch. It's not really going to hurt, but trying to get a base runner here in the 7th.
The 2-1 from Mason. Low, 3-1. So Booth has worked the count in his favor. Trying to get base runners here in the bottom of the 7th, down by 1. Booth has hit the ball hard at times. Had a pretty good eye at the plate. Now the count in his favor at 3-1, and he'll be on base by way of the walk.
How many walks have we had in this game?
Well, we had 9 and 2 hit batters, and now you're going to make me count here real quick.
Sorry.
As French steps into the box. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 5th.
That's
in
the
game
5th
for Meridian.
So 14 between the two teams and 2 hit batters.
Yep. So French, as that pitch misses high, snap throw down to first, but Booth able to get back. Now 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th for the Bobcats, down by 1. Tying run on at first. Hunter Fritsch in the batter's box takes a good hack at a breaking ball, fouls it off. So 1-1 your count. The Lady Bobcats will be in action tomorrow night in A.B. Howard as Southwest. The Lady Bears come calling. Our men on the road to Summit to take on the Bears.
Southwest.
Breaking ball stays high.
Southwest always is well coached. Brent Harris does a really good job, and I know that'd be a big challenge for Coach Missy Bilderback and her Lady Bobcats, who are off to an undefeated start again. They are rolling. They're very athletic. They're fun to watch. If you hadn't had a chance to come watch them, get on the pass list. I was going to say come on in, but
still 7th in the country. Sean? No, number 7 ranked team. High ball out toward shallow right field. Mitchell calls off Thomas. And the Eagles 1 out away from the sweep as French flies out to right field for the 2nd out. Tyler Ducksworth, cleanup hitter for the Bobcats. Singled his last at bat, reached on an error back in the 4th, and reached on an error and scored back in the 2nd. So he's been on base every time. We need him to do the same thing again right here, as he is the last hope for the Bobcats with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Breaking ball, strike 1. And a long day here at the bank. Started at 2 o'clock, 9:40 here in this 2nd game. Breaking ball pulled just wide of third. Or diving, trying to make the stop was Luke, but just beyond the third base line. I don't know if that would have tied it up, but Booth would have had a chance maybe, as it was headed toward the left field corner.
I think it was the right call.
Yeah.
I think it was foul.
No argument from Zach Allen.
Right.
In his beanie down in the third base.
Yeah, Coach Allen's a little cold right now. Hands are in pockets.
Ducksworth behind in the count, 0-2. Overthrowing that fastball was Mason. Makes the count 1-2. One and two your count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Breaking pitch. Woo! Ducksworth may turn and say thank you to the umpire not making that call. 2-2 your count now. Wasn't a bad pitch right there from Mason on a 1-2 count. Booth at first. Breaking the ball. Swing and a miss. And that's your ball game. A high breaking ball. Ducksworth not able to get a piece of it. No runs in the 7th for the Bobcats. No hits, no errors. There was 1 man left on base. The Bobcats fall 5-4 in the 2nd game, 11-10 in 12 innings in the 1st game. So a couple of close losses by the Bobcats here on opening day. So the Bobcats fall to 0-2. And the Eagles in the day 2-0. The Bobcats will be back in action Saturday as they travel to Decatur for a doubleheader scheduled against East Central. And that stream will be carried by East Central, so you can watch that action on the East Central broadcast. The Bobcats trying to regroup after 2 heartbreaking losses here to start the season here in the bank. We'll wrap this one up as we are late in the night in Ellisville. 11-10 Meridian, 5-4 Meridian, as the Bobcats drop a couple of heartbreakers here on opening day. We appreciate you logging on and tuning in to the broadcast as the JCJC.TV crew has brought it to you. Our steady guys out in the weather running the cameras, and then we're up here just talking with the headsets on. Appreciate Sean Wansley, Kevin Maloney. Thanks to Chris Robinson for joining us here for this second game and chit-chatting a little bit with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you ladies out on the
next Tuesday
softball diamond out across the way at the bank. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, thank y'all for joining us. Until next time, this has been Bobcat Baseball on JCJC.TV.